What's up, everybody? What's good? And welcome back to the Preseason Icebreaker. We're now coming to you with our fourth and final region, South America. Spoo, I'm excited to get into this final region and see what they've been having in store for us with these new and wacky modes.
As I gradually fade into existence and disappear as well as the last region, I've got to say, I'm getting a bit emotional, and it's already so quick. This weekend has gone by so fast, and we're already on the final show of this entire competition. And I mean, running through this format for the fourth and final time, and I think at this point the viewers should more or less know. But if you are for some reason tuning in this late and you haven't managed to catch any of the other action that's happened in the other regions, here's the format right in front of you.
That's right. We're talking a 4-team single elimination bracket. We looked through the best performing teams from last year and invited them all, and they all said yes, actually. And it'll be best of 5 sets. That is where the similarities to the Brawl Stars end, because we're going to be moving into some never-before-seen modes. Only Hot Zone sticks out here, Spoo. We're going to be bringing in Brawl Hockey, Basketball, Present Plunder, and, of course, Treasure Hunt, which you may not have even played before, and we're going to let players pick which maps they want to play.
There's also global bans that we're going to be throwing into here. Each team is going to get up to 2. This has been much requested feature for the rest of the most of 2025. You got 99 brawlers in the game now, including Global. The 100th one is coming very shortly, I'm sure. And as the years of Brawl goes by, inevitably we will need more bans. So global bans right now is just one way that we're approaching it. We came up with this format. Don't worry, this isn't going to just get dumped into the BSC tomorrow. The rulebook's already out there. Y'all can expect it. So let's just have a bit of fun with this format, and let's see how South America approaches it.
The theme of this tournament is trying new stuff and getting feedback. So we want to know what you guys think about all of this before we get started, and we're interested in comparing that to your thoughts at the end of the show once you've seen all of these teams compete. Without further ado, though, Spoo, let's talk about our competitors here.
Jumping into the bracket, we've got some familiar faces and Familia Nunes, okay? So, Loud is going to be going up against Familia Nunes. It was posted on the blog. They were called FA Caio Pero at the time, but these guys are a bit cheeky, and I mean, we allowed the name changes because everybody got signed by an org, right?
Yeah.
So, on the other side, SK Kalalas SA is going to be facing up against the new Eternal. So 3 orgs here, and if you guys are looking for an org to side, look up Familia Nunes. Maybe their performance today may surprise you, but they are going up against basically one of the strongest teams in South America, and that's going to be our debut match as well. It's in the form of Loud.
Okay, now let's begin talking about that very first matchup. Loud and Familia Nunes. We told you, we gave them the ability to select the maps that they wanted to play, as well as ban the brawlers that they didn't want to play. So let's go through it, Spoo. We're starting off with some Brawl Hockey, then we're moving into Basketball, bit of Present Plunder, then Treasure Hunt, Open Business on Hot Zone to end it off, and of course, there are those bans.
Oh yeah. And I like the bans, right? Let's see a little bit of differentiation between the regions so far. South America is the last region, so they have been able, to see how this tournament has progressed and kind of understand like what could and couldn't be the right way to approach this. We've seen a lot of variation in terms of how teams have been picking their maps, whether just picking stuff that they're just more comfortable with. We've seen some interesting justifications, like for example, why, in basketball, it looks like everybody agrees that Ball Hog is like the only competitive map they're willing to compete on. We gave them 3 maps, by the way, and I haven't even seen the third one. Like, nobody has picked it. It's just all been Ball Hog, and I can understand why. It has to do with the design and stuff like that, but that is exactly the point of this competition, as you mentioned. So if you guys have something you want to highlight about these modes, let us know.
Okay, we're just waiting on our players to go ahead and ready up so we can begin discussing our very first map. It's Super Center. Let's talk about it in a region that honestly is quite tropical and doesn't see a whole lot of ice. I wonder if any of these players have ever played hockey in real life, and I wonder how similar Brawl Hockey is going to be and see if they can put that intellect to the test.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect here. So far, in all the other regions, we always like to assume that, okay, like Crazy Raccoon, for example, is gonna win it all because they are the world champions, Tensai is the GOAT, and then maybe you go to North America, like Tribe Gaming, best NA team ever, right? They're just gonna sweep through. But those two regions didn't go as expected, right? We lost the big powerhouse team in the very first match of the day. It was a kind of an upset, so to speak. And then there's an EMEA was really competitive. We saw Humble and SK breeze past that, but in this case though, is Loud gonna fall victim to that curse as the expected winner of this competition going up against Familia Nunes? They're gonna lead out with the Max pick.
Max to start things off should get that speed and should enable something tanky towards the end. Look, I feel like it has been beaten to death, but it must be discussed. This region is so well known for their tank play and the tank meta that they usually boast. So having Max in here is going to provide the speed that some of these high HP brawlers need to walk in the goal. We actually saw that quite frequently in East Asia. It's going to be Pierce for Familia Nunes. I just want to point out the Italian brain rot on their logo. Big shout out to Big T and Chimpanzini Bananini. I think you could probably have an engaging discussion with Rafiki about that.
I'm sure he could. I mean, he knows the Italian brain rot better than I do, and gonna get some. Well, let's see if we can sneak in some Italian brain rot whenever they play. I mean, I got my tung sahur ready for me, but that meme's kind of in the past, right? We're in the 6-7 era already. Come on, guys, keep up with the times, okay? But okay, so Pierce is gonna be making an appearance once again. This is a huge powerhouse, bro. And wow, okay, South America. Yeah, exactly right. Like, it's South America, okay? And if every region is known for having a quirk, I'd say South America has the most fun with Brawl Stars, honestly speaking. It's very wild drafting. Half the time when I look at it, it's like it doesn't really make sense up front. And then once it comes together, you're like, that's what they're doing the whole time.
Exactly. Oh, Shelly makes an appearance from Loud. All right. And now, what do you combine with that Shelly? You have a way of scoring your goal. You have the knockback capability. Brawler number 3. Maybe a tank. I was hoping that they would just like tank the Shelly out of the Familia Nunes playbook, and then we'd see them pick a tank for their third brawler.
Could be. Shelly is at this point kind of a semi-tank. They're gonna opting to go back for the Charlie instead. I think they just want a bit of protection, honestly, up against this Mortis. Shelly is decent by herself, but zero-ping Mortis is a pretty scary thing to go up against. I think, anyone's familiar with this new Mortis. By the way, this is a buffied up Mortis. Some nerfs that come his way to prevent his supercharge from being just too absurd. But the new addition of Mortis and his current kit, involving around this combo spinner, as well as that new coiled snake that you're invulnerable, it just allows for a lot of really cheeky plays. And mobility in Brawl Hockey has shown to be absolutely insane, especially in this case. If you see on Super Center specifically, there is a sight line from the middle of the map that just goes straight into the goal, and I bet between Shelly, Max, and this Mortis, we're gonna be seeing all 3 brawlers fight for it from the very beginning, very similar to what we saw in East Asia.
Okay, all the picks, all the bands are in. We're ready to get started on our inaugural screening of Brawl Hockey in this region. I hope you're all ready. It's time to kick off the preseason icebreaker.
Kicking things off here from the side, I do believe it's going to be Familia Nunes that we're spectating here. And it's already first blood that's drawn there. The Amber zones down. Kyodog, that the combo spinner gets a little bit of value here on that left side. Adino manages to scoop up that puck there, and he's going to be trapped up. I wonder who's inside the box. Is it a Mortis? Yes, it is. It's Doritos who's going to be trying to escape there. Can't get this one done. The puck flies over on the side of Adino. Doritos is trying to get some value there. Nicely dodged there by Adino. It's going to be laser down here. The spider doesn't get the last hit. It's going to be Adino that picks that one up. But meanwhile, puck control still with Derb, just chucking it back and forth to the corner. That's the way that you control the puck in this mode.
Puck making its way to the enemy side and intercepted by Firecrow. We'll see Kyodog now pick it up. He's ready to deposit this one around the right side. Would love a super to do so. Hypercharge active for Firecrow. Intercepted by Loco, who's now taken down. This is the moment for Doritos, though. Overshoots it. Didn't want to have Coiled Snake in that moment. And this is an opportunity. Once more, Kyodog presses forward, burned down and hit by the gadget from Loco. It'll be Familia Nunes keeping control.
That was so much damage, honestly. I mean, I don't really know what Kaido was thinking there. They're going to stack together there. Typical max thing going on here. Just that hypercharge to give the entire team. Kaido is just camping out Doritos, but oh my god, the timing. Kaido just a little bit too early. And Doritos was faster than him, managing to dodge it out. And yeah, just to top it off with a goal there. Was the perfect setup there for Loud, but just couldn't get the job done.
Really, really nice there for Loud. Familia Nunes, can they catch up? Is really the question here. Doritos wanted something cheeky, was denied at the gates, but a takedown on the left side opens up a good portion of the map. Thankfully, Firecrow is able to reposition just in time. On the right side, Doritos sweeps up 3 and buries them with the shovel, and he's able to recover that puck before it gets too far out of Familia Nunes' reach. But Loud are still speeding things up. They have the max super active Cocoon as well. Derp needs to be eliminated. Oh my goodness, but he hangs on. You gotta be kidding. They missed the shots and couldn't clear the goal. Doritos gets that puck out of there, and this one has to be in the books.
It's only 8 seconds left. They've got one more shot left to take. Adino's gonna try for it. Doesn't actually go in. 2 seconds. No, it doesn't. It's in Local's hands. Safe and sound. Sounded hype for a moment, but realistically, 3 brawlers active, 1 to defend the goal, and that's gonna be game number 1 going to the side of Familia Nunes. A good start for them, and don't worry, they are leading in this game.
Okay, we're going to be getting back into it. Once more, Familia Nunes. They have the lead, will be going from their perspective. Derp is just trying to keep this mid control. We've had feedback from players saying that, look, if you get tapped in mid, then it feels like you lose all control. But Doritos is taking a much different approach. He left Derp really exposed at mid, but it's fine because he swiped up a couple of kills. But he's very concerned about being taken down by Kyodog. That's exactly what you're concerned about. Tap in the auto-aim, and it's just not ever going to be a positive interaction for the Mortis.
Yeah, it's a cool feature there to allow the puck to stop at the goal. I think that's one of the ways you can play defensively. Kyodog gonna be running in onto Loco, blows him up there, doesn't really get the damage done. Doritos is back at larger, came out from the Cocoon there, and now this puck is cornered very nicely. Doritos has to make a choice. He's not gonna really go for it, wants to opt to go for kills instead, clear out the pathway for a team, and then maybe go for a much easier goal. I think that philosophy has been widely debated. He's now going to get the puck released from the corner, passes it over to Loco before he makes his offense on that right lane.
Hypercharge activated, make that 2. It's a successful defensive Mortis. Kyodog has to catch up with that puck. Little hasty, didn't really need to use that fast forward, but he's got so much speed, it's ridiculous. Needs the pass from Firecrow. Kyodog knows that this is a great interaction for him versus Mortis. Mortis just cannot defend any kind of goal. It's Loud in the lead with 1 point scored. Excellent
Initiating goal from the side of Loud. Kyodog finally stepping up a little bit here, abusing his Buffy brawler. On the side of the other of Familia Nunes, though, Doritos is doing the exact same. Kyodog has to go back playing 1 versus 3. The puck doesn't really have the right angle there. Loco's just holding on to it, passes it over to Derp. He's got this hypercharge active, doesn't connect with anyone. It's a complete air ball, but it does clear out the center. And there you see Loud just running back into the mid, desperately trying to get this defense, and it's successful. Adino, wait, is that angle good? No way! No freaking way, ready? From across the map? Really?
From way downtown, Loud finds themselves 2 points in the lead. Got to get one more, though. Kyodog fired away. Now it looks like it'll be a Dino. That was definitely a strategy. It worked in the end. It was a little bizarre, though. Yeah, go for the trick shot while you can. Loud come back to tie up the set 1-1.
Yeah, Loud aren't going down without a fight, that's for sure. Neither is my cam, apparently. Not cooperating. I am dissolving. You can
No,
imagine.
please. Spoo, stay with us. No.
Someone do CPR on my cam. I don't know what's going on with this. Oh, my God. That's it, though. The action has to continue. The show's gotta go on here, and you know it seems like Loud have found their stride, right? Like it's wow. Look at the 2 Buffy brawlers. It just feels like a samurai fight going on that right side. And Doritos came out on the better for this. Oh, okay, wait a second. Nah, Kyodog's back.
Okay, well, Kyodog, what do you have in store for us? Yeah, a little easy shot into the goal as everything was wide open. Now Loud leads by 1 once more. It's been a common theme throughout this, and I saw someone say this in chat, that we see people struggle, the more established players really struggle, the champions of their region. have had the most difficulty with these new modes. But Loud is bringing this back. Familia Nunes just have no semblance of how they looked in game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, it was a successful game number 1 there. Is it a fluke? I mean, there was a point where Kaido just prematurely supered and allowed Doritos to just get obscene value. And now we see a similar tactic there. So Adino is going to be popping out that super, managing to give his entire team a big amount of super there. Doritos is going to get that kill there onto Adino, but Kaido on the other side, though, is just getting so much value with this Hypercharge. Now we see the Charlie Hypercharge come online as well. That's going to be Firecrow, I believe, putting him inside there in detention, and Kaido and Adino were waiting for him in Wake. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Doritos goes down, but at least the puck's still with them, so it's not a goal that they can convert.
Puck reposition once more by Loud. It's head over to Firecrow. Now pass over to Kyodog. That's the speed that he needs, but he seems to not have that much faith in his HP. I feel like he could have scored there. Gonna go for it. Comboed with the super. It's another one for Loud and nothing for Familia Nunes.
Oh man, 2 goals up already for Loud. Just one more to take the first set. And this is a map that they chose, by the way, so they should be a lot more familiar with this. The offense has begun, and it's over! There was a gap in the defense there. Derp was trying to juke away from the shots there, and they've just found the angle from the side of Loud. Kyodog, the star player, to walk away from that one, just did the most damage here. We're going to check out the replays just real shortly here. Game number 1, it was the Familia Nunes show, really. I mean, they just seem to be so comfortable inside this mode, but I guess it's a Loud thing. I mean, in monthly finals, we've seen it before, right? They just like kind of lose the first game, and then they crack their knuckles, they're warmed out a bit, and then they just go on a tear to destroy their opponents in the game after.
Man, some awesome goals in here. Familia Nunes led strong, but Loud fired back even stronger. And this moment was pretty fun. Adino just a little dribble. Haven't seen as many trick shots as we had in East Asia as the first stream in this series of preseason icebreaker shows. Let's look at these stats, though. Kyodog putting up numbers. He actually did die a bunch of times, but it's fine. Aggression is necessary for this mode. You also see Doritos getting the best KD on Familia Nunes, but it almost didn't matter, unfortunately, simply because he was facing a Shelly the whole time.
Yeah, he was new to it. I mean, it's crazy. He says he's just facing a Shelly, right? But it was the Charlie that's putting him in detention half the time as well. Like, it's 2 brawlers there in combination that's making Familia Nunes just so difficult to compete here. And, I mean, despite that, he still went on a rampage throughout most of that game.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure he's playing on 0 ping. Like, some of those plays aren't possible without that.
Yeah.
And that's not a privilege that every single region has had so far.
No, not quite. Well, okay, so we move from one ball mode. That's what I've been calling it informally. I don't think anyone actually calls it that. But we move from one ball to the next. It's Brawl Hog coming up, and I'm excited to see some basket brawl. It's been one of my most hyped modes, personally, so we'll see what these guys do once we get into draft, which is getting started now.
Jumping into Brawl Hog, Loud, they lead this one with 1 setup. And remembering the global bans in mind as well. So Ems and Poco was what they had in mind to ban out. And I think it's largely in consideration in the fact that these are brawlers that they've identified as sort of viable in every single one of these maps that could potentially come up. And I think Brawl Hog so far has proven to be a map that both Poco and Ems are just absolutely dreadful to play against. Now, for Familia Nunes, though, they seem to have, joined the trend with East Asia and with EMEA of picking up B inside Brawl Hog specifically. I think we've only seen Brawl Hog largely throughout the preseason icebreaker. We haven't really gotten a chance to explore the other maps, and the reason for that is because it's just too tank heavy. This map has a large open center, and that is exactly where B kind of thrives in. Now, Loud, they seem to have taken a book out of EMEA's page here.
A book out of their page. Yeah. They're taking
That's right.
taking a lot more information than can usually be discerned. Maybe they're misusing it or something like that. We'll find whether they can correctly apply it there. That's an interesting reversal. Familia Nunes, they quite literally fire back with an Amber and her torch is extinguished, but don't worry, folks. We're going to fix that behind the scenes so that she's able to breathe fire when the time is most important. So you have Amber to nullify aggression. You have B to nullify aggression. So where's your aggro, man? When are we going to see some kind of tank that is able to score the ball, or some assassin with the mobility abilities?
Yep. We've seen sort of the most exciting matches come out so far from NA when they didn't pick up any tanks. But yeah, Familia Nunes, they're familiar. So Frank slipped through the global bans and slipped through the set bans as well. This was a big brawler, and big and strong brawler that East Asia just abused, right? Specifically, IC played it extremely well, and inside EME as well. I think they had a fair share of Frank players as well that you know, did extremely well. So no surprises there from Familia Nunes, and they've identified correctly that Loud don't have a really strong answer to that. At the moment, like, not enough damage, and yeah, there's the damage dealer. So Loud are gonna opt to go for the Lumi here, which means that they don't really have a goal-scoring brawler. So Loud have to play for the team wipe here, and gotta say, I kind of prefer the Familia Nunes philosophy a little bit better. I mean, if you got that irresistible attraction, it's kind of easy to set up for kills if you can land it.
This is what I've observed, is that having some kind of tank that holds on to a super or gets it for free or frequently is your ticket to victory, basically. Familia Nunes have their Frank. Loud are going to have to fight their way up the map. I think Meg is going to be their best contender for scoring goals over here, but I'm not entirely convinced. Now, they are going to be prioritizing this mid fight also. They're going to have Firecrow deleting Doritos, apparently, and now he's going for Frank. Make that 1-2. The burn avoided. A pass over to Firecrow so he can super it in. Oh, it was a little tricky, and he was actually standing on the line, so he didn't get that 3 points. He was just inside.
He barely got it off the backboard there. Kyodog now is going to continue his rampage there on that top side. He's going to get burned down there by Dub. Almost gets the trade out there. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, it's a fight between the Dino and Loco, and Doritos gets the nice long range snipe. Loco should be able... No. Never say should be able to. Never say it. I swear that could have gone in.
Really close call. But in the end, it looks like this one's got to head to Loud. Dino right on the line. Nothing but net. Points on the board for Loud. If he had timed that differently, he could have scored 3 points in the end of the game there. Hopefully that doesn't cost them the game.
Oh yeah, that's gonna really hurt. And now that's 2 goals up for the side of Loud. They just need 1 more. It doesn't even have to be a 3-pointer here, like what Derp has demonstrated. That's gonna put them on the board, and now both teams are technically tied up. Doesn't matter if it's 4-3. The next goal will do the trick, and Loco's gonna start off by taking down Adinio. Doritos, the map is wide open for him, and that's a huge advantage for the B.
It's a 1-goal game right here. 2 supers ready for Familia Nunes. Doritos didn't want to sneak through. Here's the stun onto Kyodog. He's going to be nullified from that stun when he emerges from the mech, but that's what they needed. Familia Nunes! I cannot believe it. They capitalize on the mistake, and they get the game win. That is entirely Loud's fault for not standing outside of the range and using the tech to use a normal shot to score a 3-pointer.
Oh yeah, that's some hidden tech that not many players or even you know these pro players may not even know. But essentially, there is a angle. If you stand at the extreme north or south of that goal, and when the hoop is closest to it, and you shoot a normal shot, that can be a 3-pointer. But it's an obscure angle, and you have to have it. But all right. Let's look at what's gone on in this game. Is Doritos going to be able to 1v3 this and keep this dream alive? Okay, Firecrow tried to go for an ambitious shot at best. Didn't connect.
Loud forming a big push on the top side for Familia Nunes. They have repositioned the B, and watch this. Musical lanes. B is just going wherever this Meg goes. She knows that she's the best way to deal with it. Huge damage onto Firecrow. Kyodog demegged. And there's more where that came from, says Frank, but he does want to heal up for a little bit now. Doritos assists with getting this kill towards mid, but the top side push has been reversed. It's a retreat from Familia Nunes onto the right side. They're lacking on the HP at the moment. Doritos also doesn't make any connections with the Rattled Hive, unfortunately. And in exchange of the top side, where Kaio Dog managed to get a takedown onto Familia Nunes. This could be the opportunity. Firecrow rushes in. No, deleted by Doritos. And it's time for Familia Nunes to create a push of their own once more.
Yeah, big stun out there from Loco. He's going to connect there onto Adinio. Loco could have super shotted it maybe back for his team to create a goal, but didn't really want to waste the super there. Now, with the map torn wide open, gradually, Doritos and Derp are going to be so strong. We mentioned this earlier in the NA show that this Amber Hypercharge is just so absolutely broken inside Brawl Hog because the map is just too small. Same thing with stuff like this Mega Hypercharge. Look at it. You want to dodge it? You can't. You're really at the edge of the map.
It's really, really cramped. Kaio Dog should have all the HP he needs. No, you gotta be kidding me! Bounces off the rim on a shot that was completely his. No utility that Familia Nunes could have used while they were respawning to deal with that. Oh, and a totally missed super from Loco is gonna be costly. Three-pointer at the rim, and no good.
Back into Loud's possession though. Kaio Dog on feebly 200 health might have been enough to get it done. Nope, not gonna happen. Loco gets 2 stuns on the board and a third pull onto Adinio, but no K doesn't want to swing the hammer down. It's gonna pass the ball to Derp. Goes in for the layup and it's an easy one for Familia Nunes. That should seal the deal for them. 2-0 in this set, and it ties this matchup 1-1.
Loud have got some competition. Familia Nunes came on real strong in that first set. Moving over to basketball, though, completely showed up Loud. And what a comeback that was in game number 1. That's what you witnessed right there. Loud, they must just have not known the tech that you can stand outside of that three-point radius and still use an ordinary throw to score a three-pointer. They could have ended the game there. Familia Nunes scored a couple of goals after that to make it all happen. Ridiculous. Just insane that we watched that happen. Take a look at the stats also. Familia Nunes having Frank constantly rushing at the enemy side. That's why you see him healing up so much, is because he is feeding a bunch of supercharge to Loud. Didn't matter in the end. Familia Nunes, the remaining members of the squad, Derp and Doritos, accounted for that. Snatched at those kills just like they needed.
Yeah, it's a lot to consider inside this mode, and I think one of the contentious points that people are bringing up constantly is the fact that is the map too small, right? So map too small has a lot of other implications. Aside from making tanks obscenely good, what is the respawn shield? Should the respawn shield be a thing in basketball? Because is it fair that the defenders just get to respawn under their base and like a Frank can just hypercharge all the way to the map, do so much damage and just have no counterplay? Like, that is the kind of stuff, feedback that I think is good to point out. And it's not just the pros that can do it, you guys can do it as well. Now, before we jump to conclusions, we've made too many times of that joke. Hey, this map is looking different already. That image looks good now. Earth ready.
It's as if I painstakingly searched for and placed that jump pad on there so that it's actually mirrored, it's actually accurate now. Referencing, of course, the earlier streams where it appeared Jump to Conclusions was an asymmetrical map when it came to those jump pads. Now, I digress. Let's talk about these bans. Eve makes an appearance from Familia Nunes. Really, really interesting. Rico we've seen before, but there's a heavy priority on these brawlers that can float over the water. Familia Nunes got rid of Angelo, and when Loud didn't immediately bite for the Eve, Familia Nunes went like, okay, cool, we can do the float over the water thing. And it proved actually to be really strong, because Eve has a jump just like Angelo does, and we saw STMN use that ability to great success in North America earlier today.
Yeah, and actually a really big difference between Eve and Angelo is the move speed, right? So, okay, this draft is going really, really quickly. So just trying to speed run through it a little. It looks like both teams have gone for some mixture of like ricochet type brawlers, because if you look at the map structure, there is quite a lot of lane dominance that can be done by, you know, getting that ricochet thing. And so both Ruffs and Rico, perfect choices for that. Then Loud, you know, they're stacking the speed, right? So the shade speed plus the shade speed was, you know, that's a lot of stuff that you can just float to the water, steal the thing, and get out. Familia Nunes, on the other hand, though, okay, they're bringing out the prawn-ready tank. Hank is in the house. Not something that we've seen in the rest of the icebreakers, and I don't even know if it's one of the best tanks, but I know the matchup into shade is good, and that is exactly what they're beginning for.
Okay, Shade into Hank is pretty gutsy. Like, that's one of the matchups that Shade hates the most. It's really, really bad for him because he can't avoid the shots. You're getting hit inside of that wall by the Hank. But maybe they detected that Shade was just such a good brawler here that that's why Familia Nunes went for the Hank. It was to counter the Shade, and Loud say, no, we're still going to go for it anyway. Shade is so good here that it's not really an option for us not to try and make it work.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're going to have to try and make it work anyways. I mean, they're up against this matchup now. It's not great. Doritos, you see, so this is how they deal with it, right? Instead of leaving Kaidog onto his own devices, they get Adino to come in to get that pinch, and now it's going to start out. So Kaidog has got the steal in. The present is across the water. Is Adino gonna be able to reach it? I believe he can. And there's the first extraction, but Doritos like, pop, goes the bubble, and there goes Adino. You're greedy, you're not gonna get it. Now, do they know the tech that you can sit on the present to stop it? That was a good pinch by Loco and Dirt, by the way, just to save the present and get the reset there.
Yeah, I get the feeling that they've been paying attention to the other icebreakers. There is an advantage to be able to see the other regions play first and adapt based off of that. Regional metas be what they be. I don't know if there's been enough time for regional metas to evolve in these modes that players probably haven't touched too much outside of this competition or their preparation for it. We'll see Doritos for the jump in, and with Kaidog falling, that is the opportunity to go ahead and push in. Doritos on low HP will be able to bring this pretty far. Kaidog knows it's the perfect time to pop that hypercharge and get forward. And Firecrow will sit on top of the present to send it right back to the base, pop a little pin while he does so.
Still an even Stevens game between Loud and Familia Nunes. They're tied 1-1 in sets. And no real progress made aside from the fact that a bunch of hypercharges have been traded. Now we see one being used by Adino and Firecrow. Big speed can be coming out. Kaidog continues as well. But Doritos got a hypercharge of his own. Loud are just trying to brute force their way inside the Familia Nunes base. But nope. One big feature of Pleasant Plunder that has been debated is that it is way too easy to defend, and that's exactly what Loco demonstrated.
And Familia Nunes have great defensive brawlers as well. I look at Doritos also, like not just Loco, who we already know how good he is at defending on this Rico, but Hank, just such a passive brawler, can shift from offense to defense really easily on this map, it looks like. And he's got exactly the matchup he wants. Look how he uses the bubble as well, despite being below 50% HP. Well done from Derp to get that kill. But Doritos is trying to use the damage gear to the best of his ability. Gonna go ahead and heal up to full in anticipation of overtime and knowing that he won't be able to use this damage gear as effectively.
We're seeing an overtime here in Present Plunder. It's not the first time that it's happened, but it just goes to show just how evenly matched these two team comps are. And diving into it, it's an open map. Doritos not having too much faith here, but Loco though, big super for him with the hypercharge. This new buffed up Rico on roids has a massive increase in that projectile unload speed. It functions a little bit more like Colt, and that's why the shots are just stacking up there onto Firecrow. Adino now though with the hypercharge is a big one. It should be able to get some big shots going in there if they can get this hang through. It could be the push that they needed. Two brawlers get slapped down. Once again, it's Loco against the world, but great defense from him to secure this game.
Legitimately could not be harder for Loud to get this present right now because it is all the way at the back. Is that a jump pad sandbag that I just saw? That was pretty funny. 5 seconds to go. Doesn't look like anyone's going to be able to touch either present. And for the first time, we'll see a total stalemate here in Present Plunder. Like, all the hee-hee-hee-haws coming out is just cracking me up, I just want to add. But game number 1, not a Present plundered the entire time. That's kind of uneventful. I mean, I feel like we saw a lot of action, but the Present being positioned all the way at the wall was too much for Loud to be able to deal with.
And that's a very interesting point of feedback as well, by the way, that if you think about it, does it even make sense that if your opponent accidentally moved the present and then it, gets bumped deeper in your base, that it doesn't reset because it actually makes it harder to come in later? Yeah, I mean, it really should, right? I mean, eventually, I mean, it should never be a disadvantage to have a bad push. But that's it, right? Loud here, they are starting this game off very strong. Very, very strong. 3 lanes all dead, and guess what? They can't even go in because of the respawn cycle. Oh my god, this mode needs so much tweaking.
Yeah, you have to get a team wipe in order to get in here. Just that zone is really, really close to the respawn. and it's heavily defended, but Kyodog's going to try and punch through. He's got that Shade speed. Edinho has the speed that's just part of playing Max, and there's no one to even catch up with him. It's going to be a present secured for Loud, and they can finally exhale because they can just play defense at this point. Max is going to be useful for creating pressure up top. Won't be needed to get another present, but I don't think they'd really sneeze at the chance to get another present if they were provided it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna start off with this one. Doritos is trying to force the issue here up against Kyodog. Derp's gonna be the next one on the chopping block, just, you know, trying to float across the water, cosplay young Carlos a little bit. But I think it looked a little bit more like Tacos' alley, making references to previous regions here, but basically one was successful in crossing the Great River, while the other just ended up just feeding. So Familiar Nunes here, they're gonna have to reset back to the base. Big hypercharge is gonna be coming out here from the side of Edinho as well as Kyodog. Ooh, that's a big kill from him. His move speed is just so quick over there. Finally gonna go down there to Loco, lasering across the map there, but Familiars are still behind.
Kyodog now rushing forward. It's an easy takedown into Loco, going for two. Eve tries to jump away, but it's no good. Kyodog's still going to get that kill, and he's got another super cycled. Now attempting to punish Loco or just get away. Look at those evasive maneuvers, serpentine style, as he snakes back around, and the right side is all clear for him to walk through and get this present secured. That was impressive right there, avoiding all the shots as he escaped.
That's the team play there coming out from Loud as well. They've been playing together for so long, by the way. This is almost their third year competing. So, I mean, I expect that from them, right? Like, at this point, you may not even need to communicate. You've got telepathy going on. You understand what the plan is, and I think this plan is going exceptionally well. You know, the stacking of the speed here, absolutely insane. So now, in respect of the fact that, you know, we are cheering a little bit for Familiar Nunes, we're looking at them instead. Loco, though, has done so well in all these games, right? Like, he's the sole defender. And Doritos, on the other hand, has done pretty well as well, done his role, but it just seems to just fall to the might of Loud. And they're just, you know, higher tactical ability here inside this mode. They just seem to have drafted a comp that is better at plundering presence.
Well, Loud's composition is pretty good at defending. And that's the big thing that stands out to me. Familiar Nunes find themselves in a weird, stalemate-y sort of situation. They don't really have great moments to push on through. Of course, that's afforded to... the aggression is afforded to them by their raw aggression, excuse me, with Shade. And watch as he's able to once more move right over and go to the enemy side.
Yeah, a desperate attempt there. Kyodog, oh, get taken down there. So the present's not gonna go all the way there. Derp is the only person left to survive. So Edinho's gonna be able to scoop this one up. Oh, I think Derp could have maybe tried to stop him there, but I think it was a bit of a fruitless attempt. So they're just gonna give that one up and try and reset for the next present. But at the very least, it looks like they've gotten some tempo out of it, but Loud still seem to be very far ahead. Doritos is blowing his bubble, still sneaking his way in, and I am seeing a problem with his Hank pick, which is that he doesn't have enough time to heal.
Okay, a push in from Edinho. Could it be? It's wide open on his side, but Loco's now going to fill up that space. It's okay. Edinho only wanted to give that speed to Kyodog instead, and look how Kyodog is able to weave around these. Gets two shots, that's enough to eliminate one. Derp could be up next on the chopping block. Kyodog knows that if he just uses his hypercharge, then he could be in the clear. Gets a smack down as he runs up and secures one last goal. Once the present despawns on the enemy side. I was waiting with bated breath like, okay, when's it gonna end? Loud gets it done. A little anticlimactic there. The winning moment still took a few seconds to process.
Yeah, I mean, we're allowed to, you know, make some bad calls here and there. I mean, you know, it's not all, you know, it's not your regular Thursday, right? Like, we don't get a chance to cast present Plunder of all the modes. And this may be the last time in history that you get to cast it. This mode never gets added to BSC, for example. But we never know, okay? And that's kind of why you guys are here. So, looking at this mode, I mean, we've had a whole weekend, right, to go back and forth on discussion about this. And I think something that I wanted to bring up is that it looks like, so comps-wise, right, I'm seeing Kyodog has 21 kills. And just bear in mind, we talked about how this was a Shade going into a Hank, which is designed to neuter the pick. And I don't think it neutered it at all.
No. It was too easy to avoid, it would seem. Hank had a lot of places to be at once. That's the real struggle. Would you play Hank in, I don't know, Heist? No, not really. Not just because he lacks damage on the safe, but because it's so difficult for him to move from defense to offense and then back. And Shade's able to do both of those. Shade has so much speed to work with. And when Shade is working with the terrain as well, then you end up with a lot of like double kills. That's why we saw Kyodog farm so many kills. And he cycles his supers off of that, gets mobility, gets the shield. He's able to run away over the water. Total MVP in my mind.
Oh, yeah. Adino and Firecrow, I mean, they play perfect support as well, right? Like, Adino was very focused that every time he had the hypercharge, I mean, every time he had his hypercharge, just give it to Kyodog. And then every time Ruffs had his hypercharge, just give it to Kyodog. And then let Kyodog go ham. I mean, that was basically the plan. And dare I say, like, that kind of a comp works not just in Present Plunder, but I think works in a lot of modes, which a lot are fairly familiar with. So that said, though, remind me of the pick order. This is map number 4, which means that this is Loud's map, correct?
This is true. It goes red team first, then blue team, then red team, then blue team again. What happens if we go to set number 5? Well, if Emilio Nunes wins here, then that 5th remaining mode is going to come to light. It'll be open business if we head there. But let's start talking about this draft. Loud, they've gone with the buffied up Spike. Spike has been completely terrorizing the meta lately. Thankfully, we did have a patch come in recently that tweaked some of the brawlers, especially those buffy ones. And Familia Nunes are going to probably pick something buffied of their own. We see one of them banned also. Loud got rid of that M's, not on the table. But Frank, yep. We saw the big man already on Ball Hog. Now he's making an appearance. An ancient treasure.
Strong brawler, strong selection for sure. And with majority of his major counters taken out here, if you look at the fact that, you know, for example, Ems is not in the pool, Coditas is not in the pool, there's a lot of other options here for anti-tanks wise. For Nunes, they pair this Frank up with a Charlie. I think it's a nice, we saw, what was his name? A kind of something that rhymes with Ducky, or was it just Ducky? I think it was Ducky that was playing the Charlie in NA. And yeah, he just went on a complete rampage in that game, just kind of fought 1 versus 2 half the time. Gotta say though, have we seen Ancient Treasure yet? I think we've seen it exactly once, and I can't remember specifically the dynamics of that map. I mean, look at this map, right? You've got jump pads going on here. There's an infiltration play on the bush. Your home base is sort of the opposing side because it's easier to defend from, but it looks like Loud though. They're opting for an in-between solution. Kind of ignoring the Frank problem. They don't really have major damage sources, but they do have a Mortis.
And I don't mind the Mortis. I just think it's countered too hard. Barry, final selection from Familia Nunes. He'll be able to ignore pretty much one push from Mortis, but again, these are professional players, so he'll probably be trying to fake out Doritos and see what he can do about that. Barry Frank is a huge strategy also that should be pretty instrumental on getting control of one of the zones.
Oh yeah. I think we theory crafted this a little bit, right? Like a couple times you talked about, you know, how this map is very similar to Hot Zone, and pretty much like you just pop the heals, stack it on the Frank, and it's super duper easy to stay on the point. And I think in a weird way, right? Like they're looking for some parity as well. One way to deal with the PAM is you just out sustain it, and I think the thrower here to be able to use it on that turret is going to be a big deal. But that said though, more health does mean that this Mortis is probably going to be able to chain more supers. I love that Spike skin, by the way. I've never seen the projectiles with that before.
It's real cute. It's real nice to look at. Though, if I'm Familia Nunes, I'm not too happy to be on the receiving end of it because of Edinho already having a hypercharge. It's just ridiculous. But thankfully for Familia Nunes, they've actually gotten control of the right side. Derp is a monster right now. Put Edinho in the cocoon, and there's the irresistible attraction from Loco to fully capitalize. Yeah, that's a spin well deserved because that was an insane set of plays.
And Dub is fighting it on the right side. Here on the left, though, once again, the Mort is trying to go for a big hypercharge play. Not going to be able to finish this one up, and the Frank is healing right up thanks to the residual healing there from that berry. He's going to have to try to stay alive here. There we go. The berry is back. Me on the right lane, though. Dub robs them of that one. Puts one into the cocoon. Kyodog had no way to stop that one.
Another push on in the drive from Firecrow, gets him a kill and a bit of control on the left side. Should be enough time for a treasure to be collected by Loud. And on the right side, Kyodog hunkers down, keeps that same control. Another kill for Firecrow into this Frank matchup, and a cocoon may have appeared, but Firecrow will soon re-emerge. Familia Nunes, they're doing their best to dedicate 2 brawlers to this left lane, but it's not enough. The baits from Firecrow are simply too strong for Loco to keep up with. In the 1v2, Mortis does fall, but it's fine, because Loud only need control of this right zone and get that last treasure to secure the game. It's going to happen in a few seconds here unless they're properly contested. It's no issue at all. It's game 1 for Loud and a match point incoming.
Oh, man. I mean, the berry selection, right? It's a double-edged sword. You keep the Frank alive long enough, but the thing about the new Mortis is that it actually can take sustained fights. Gone are the days whereby you can't chain, like, you need, like, you know, you're looking at, like, trying to chain supers off 3 bros. Look at this fight, bro. He just dived in on the berry. Didn't really give a shit. Went in there, got an easy pickings there on the berry, and then, like, just retreated out. The next time he goes in there, he's going to be closer and closer to the hypercharge, and inevitably, he will break the left lane.
Oh
my God,
oh my goodness, Firecrow is an absolute monster, deleting the left lane. What can they even do about this? Well, at least Doritos has a hypercharge, and yeah, I think we figured out what they can do with it. Doritos all the way home. Now Firecrow has a super of his own hypercharge style, but it's not enough to punch through the HP and the damage that Barry's Ice Cream laid down on the point. I can't believe Familia Nunes came back so strong. And we'll also see Locos moving over with a hypercharge to stun onto Kyodog and another one onto Firecrow. Get another hypercharge cycled out, but that might not be good news for the Berry, who could really use some barriers to hide behind.
It's just opening up the map there, but I think they've figured it out, right? At this point, they've got to use the Frank more as an offensive brawler. Loco with a nice pull there. Now on the right side, Derb makes a nice cocoon play. Familia Nunes are coming back in style here. We see the Loco getting the long-range stun onto Kyodog, and now getting one more kill. They secured both zones once again. Derp is gonna go down, but they can still get both treasures on each side. It's a massive tempo lead for the side of Familia Nunes. They just need one more treasure to win. If Loud want to secure this, they need to hold it down for at least the rest of relegation time.
Really important that Familia Nunes decide to dedicate to one zone because they only need a single treasure. Looks like they're going to full stack that left side. Edinho's trying to support from a distance. Knows that, no, wait, we have to go. That treasure's going to spawn any second now. All he's got is a super to toss onto that point. Huge hypercharge out from Loco. And amidst all the chaos, you couldn't even see the treasure. But did you need to? Familia Nunes had that one.
Amazing stuff coming out there from Loud, right? And Familia Nunes there. This is really shaping up to look more and more like a competitive mode. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like this feels so skill heavy, right? Like the Mortis plays that we've seen so far are just absolutely crazy in South America here. And I gotta say, okay, so tactically, we see a lane swap coming out here. And I don't know if this is a good idea because you've already lost full control there on that left lane. That's like the 10th super that Loco is going to miss onto Firecrow, but it don't matter. New Age Frank can swat down Mortis as long as he's low. And this is looking fine for Bermudez. They're now 3-1 in treasures.
Familia Nunes looking to carry that momentum for the last game into this one. They've taken up residence on the right side of the map, and I think they've sort of discovered the strat. They're ahead by the tempo, so if they all stack on the right side, it can't be that bad of a situation. Once more, with the destruction of obstacles from Loco, knows it's going to make Charlie's job a lot easier. It's absolute pandemonium on the right side of the map, but the healing is what's keeping Familia Nunes in the game, but it can only go so far. Doritos, despite his best abilities to heal himself, should be successfully pinched between Idinho and Kyodog on the left side. What's going on here, man? Someone explain.
On the left side, literally Firecrow, as well as the Frank that just stood still for a whole second. Neither of them were attacking each other. No one even bothered to do anything. Loco and him just had a gentleman's agreement. He says whoever gets the start gets the start. This time it went to Familia Nunes. They're tied up 6-6 now, but the whole team is back online. Great pull once again there from Loco. He's landed so many of these irresistible attractions, but somehow didn't commit for it. Kind of double back there. Didn't really want to get that kill. Meanwhile, we've got a Doritos facing off against a Mortis on the right side. Loco! Big kill from him on Adinho. It's full map control, but only one more treasure left. They need to deny this Mortis.
Oh, they cannot afford to let Spike in. It's going to be a stun, but Idinho wasn't even the powerhouse. Loud sent Kyodog and Firecrow forward to get that last treasure and win the match. They send Familia Nunes out, and they're going to the grand finals.
Oh, man. I lost it, guys. Sorry, chat. I mean, that laugh was a little bit loud there for me, but oh my god. Like, I mean, this is my feedback, you know, as a caster for these kind of dual zone modes. Like right now, what you're seeing on the screen, right? Ready. Where's your eyes? Because I'm darting between the two zones and my mouth cannot keep up with what is happening. I mean, this fight is clean, right? Like we can talk about this one. This is easy. But like, yeah, look at this one. And they're just like Loco could be beating him. Loco could start attacking. He didn't even bother. He just stood there, and it was just a moment of, it was so cute, right? Oh,
It's a map like this that'll leave you cross-eyed, man. You'll look like a chameleon trying to watch this. One eye on the left zone and the other on the right. It's difficult to keep track of because also, like, with the buffies, there's so much more happening. Mortis, Frank, Spike, all completely changing how this operates. And then there's Barry with one super back and forth, make it a hypercharge. There's ice cream absolutely everywhere. And out of all of that chaos emerges Loud with a 3-1 scoreline and some pretty nice stats to finish this off. Look at Firecrow, 21-10 on the KD. That's some crazy wind in your sails to head to the grand finals.
Yeah, I was definitely flexing, right? 100%. 100%. He felt the Familia Nunes Doritos. He felt his Mortis gameplay from the first one, and he's just like, yeah, you know what? I'll do you one better, right? I'll play this into Frank, Barry, Charlie, and I will not be denied. And truly, he just absolutely wasn't. I mean, I don't know. These damage numbers are absolutely cracked.
Well, folks, that is our very first semifinal done and dusted. On the other end of this break, it's SK Kalalas SA versus Eternal. You won't want to miss it. You're watching the Preseason Icebreaker South America. We're going to be going to a quick break in just a few seconds here, and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to the preseason icebreaker in South America. I'm still ready, set, and that name tag says Spoo, so I'm just going to assume that is Spoo, even if I feel like I have to put on my glasses to see him. We're working through a few things here, but look, the important thing is the matches at hand. And we have our next match coming up. It's semifinal number 2, Spoo, SK Kalalas SA versus Eternal.
Yep, second match of South America preseason icebreaker. It's gonna be the last one, by the way. So if you guys wanted to see the earlier ones, go check out the VODs. They should be on youtube.com/readyset. But here, yeah, we're zoning in on semifinal number 2, SK Kalalas SA up against Eternal. So these, by the way, are the new additions of these rosters. This is not the old 2025 roster, so expect to see some familiar faces on some teams and differences in others. I know that this year SK Kalalas has managed to snatch up a pretty good roster for the year. So did Eternal. So who will emerge victorious to face off in the grand finals? That's what we're gonna find out.
Okay, well, in order for us to have a match, we gotta have maps to play on, and we gotta have brawlers to know to avoid. Actually, I don't know if we need to have those. But we've given the players the chance to get rid of some brawlers for the entire match anyway. But let's talk about those maps first. We're starting off on Super Center and Ball Hog, just like we did in the first match of the day. Looks like our players here on SK Kalalas SA and Eternal were waiting in the wings, watching those strats, and formulating some things during our first semifinal.
Judging for the formula, though, they seem to like treasure hunt, specifically Eternal, right? So they looked at the stuff and said, okay, we like Brawl Hockey, and yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Brawl Hockey, we're gonna see it again for the 10th time, and yeah, I mean, we found out that the reason behind this is really just because the maps in basketball right now are just, not the best. It's really hard to make a nice map when the tiles are so small. But I like to see this, and I like to see the fact that these teams have mixed it up. No one has the goal so far to open with Treasure Hunt. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay, that's Treasure Hunt. That's only set 3. It's present Plunder and Hot Zone after that. And now that we're in the draft, we can also shift the discussion to some of the global bans, too. We have Double Spike ban. Mina is a no-go, and so is Poco. We saw Poco terrorize East Asia, so it's fitting that he's been banned out so frequently. Other common brawlers that have been a real thorn in people's sides have been out of the picking possibilities thanks to the set bans. It's Eternal getting rid of M's, absolute must when your opponent has first pick.
Oh yeah, that's just something that we found out. I think M's was only bested a total of once throughout the entire preseason icebreaker, and even then it was one hell of a fight. Like she still got star players who's super strong, so glad that she's banned. Talk about global bans though. I think it's interesting that, the ideas behind both teams' global bans are always changing, and in South America, looks like the respect for Spike is pretty high, enough to warrant double global bans from both teams here. Now, here on Brawl Hockey, we've beaten this like a dead horse, almost talking about the B, and how it's a great goalie, but Ruffs as well pairing up with this is basically setting up for the win condition is already in that package, right? Like, it's a fantastic control combo itself. It's got some anti-tank potential. We've got the overtime settled. What we could lose to, though, is just raw tempo. I mean, stuff like Carl that just goes through this kind of things, or Amber could be in contention. Okay, SKC gonna bring out a new brawler, or rather a new brawler never yet seen before in the icebreaker so far.
Yeah, we haven't seen this one so much, huh? But should have a lot of range and will be able to fight toe-to-toe with B, as well as be a support and get someone in that goal. It's something that I've been waiting to see since East Asia, is a tank that walks it in. We have seen Crow actually fulfill that role earlier today in North America, using the defense booster gadget to get himself in there, absorb a lot of HP, mitigate the damage that other people can do just with a star power that lowers their damage. Frank is the flavor du jour when it comes to tankiness and basically existing all the way to the enemy side. We've seen it on Basket Brawl, which is a shorter map and it's horizontal, but I think the same rules should apply here on Super Center. Have a lot of HP, have Byron shooting the snake oil into you, getting you nice and healthy, and sending you to the other side with the puck.
Makes sense. Makes sense for sure here. And Eternal's last pick, I was going to say that they're lacking a little bit, ironically, in the damage department. They've got a BN Erupts already, but with a Byron in play, you got to always be cautious, right? This Frank already has 15,000 health. Yeah. I got that right? 15k health. Yeah, 15,000 health. And with the Baron, that's going to be a lot more. So even if you got a BN Erupts, it's a lot to get through. So they're going to bring on the Cordelius here. Not sure if this is the biggest damage dealer that I would have gone for, but there are a lot of nifty plays that you can make with the Shadow Realm. After all, this is Brawl Hockey. This ain't Brawl Ball where, you know, matchups is all that matters. There is an element of chaos involved with that puck. And what better chaos to add than to remove a brawler from existence?
Pretty much. A little bit of chaos, but you could also make the argument that it makes things more normal, right? Well, we'll see. Total evisceration of Eternal. Pass over to Pekka. Look at that defense from Jubiliu, but it's not enough. Pekka will still slot this in the corner. It did take a lot of bodies to get that across the line, though.
And Jubiliu tried his best there to really block it, but yeah, I mean, SKC, they just juggled between the two brawlers' health pools and they barely made the cut. That was super duper high level, but it's also quite standard. Motep, so cheeky. Immediately Christian sends him to the Shadow Realm run and just denies him and says, bruh, you're not allowed to do that. Like, who gave you the right to just walk up and just do that?
I don't think he really asked whether he had permission to do so. It's one. SK Kalalas SA from way downtown. A bullet from midfield puts them 2 in the lead.
That's a quick 2 goals for SKC. Try saying that 5 times fast. Yeah. I had a big goal. Oh, I thought that was it, actually. I thought it was over. I was about to make the call that the game already ended there, but nope. Eternal still got to fight inside them. At the moment, though, the puck is going inside that corner. They're going to have some time to reset. Calvert tried to go for a kill there onto RHC. Might have opted to go for the wall break instead. Don't know if that is better. And the puck control just has gone back inside of SK Kalalas. Did it just maybe they find a way to corner it?
They're doing their best, it looks like, trying to pass over to the right side. RHZ is going to send this one over to Motep, it looks like. A little bounce pass off the wall, getting creative with the angles. But it doesn't seem like anyone is super clued in as to how to score these goals from long range. Motep could intercept this, has just enough speed to get there, but now Pekka's in the realm. RHZ, despite his best efforts, won't be able to stop this drive-in from Kawe BR. It's a 1-point deficit for Eternal right now. 1 goal to tie us up and send us to overtime.
And Motep's going to pop the hypercharge just to try and catch as much space as possible running up there. Christian's going to delete RHZ. Bank shot there by Pekka, but I mean, the angle was completely off in compared to this court. It was a good shot there, good Shadow Realm, but the timing was just a little bit off, and RHZ is not relevant. The puck isn't even close to him. Folks, I'm losing it on this. I'm going to be real with you for half a second. SKC take game number 1 there. They played really well. The camera's not the only one going local here. I am as well. Ready? Can I just be a static image at this point?
Do you really want to be a static image? Are we going to be doing that?
Let's just, I mean, I can be a slideshow, guys. Folks, what do you want me to be? I mean, yeah, it's rough, but okay. Coming back to this one, Eternal still got a shot. I know that the Eternal, I believe is that the Eternal manager in chat?
That is.
Basically saying that they don't like Brawl Hockey. Love that comment, by the way. But you gotta root for your team, right? I mean, tell us, what is it you don't like about it, aside from the fact that your team is currently getting cooked alive?
It's definitely not comfortable to watch. But Eternal, this is only set 1. This is their map pick. It's possible that they just didn't get the draft they were hoping for when they loaded into Brawl Hockey. Still, Jubiliu has a decent matchup versus this Frank over here. Just needs the walls broken down, and it's going to come down to Kawe to break those open for him.
This is their map selection. They should like it, in theory. I mean, why would you not like your own map? RNG seems to have found a nice trick shot angle over there, but it's not really good enough. Meanwhile, here on that right side, it's just, yeah, Christian's baiting Motep to just go for the super. It's like, haha, you can try. And then mutually assured destruction, right? They just trade it out there. That's a common interaction, by the way, between Cordelius and the Frank. They just have just enough damage to bring each other down. That's how much damage Cordelius can do over time. The puck's going to be sent over to the top right-hand corner. Motep gets the reset here and the positioning. And Christian's back. Back on the Frank. Back on Frank duty.
SK Kalalis SA want to get to this puck, and Motep knows what he wants. He's pursuing it with the hypercharge and the healing assistance of RHZ. They're the booster shots as well, but it's only served to feed damage to Eternal and give this speed to KR around the left. Keeps pushing forward, dodging those shots from Byron. Jubileu has a moment, but only if he clears out a single enemy. Gonna pass it to Pekka, and that shot away is intercepted by Kawe BR. This puck once more moves around the right side, an attempt sort of to get RHZ out of there, but it's no good. KR has it. That's a... What? No, you gotta be kidding me! I can't believe that shot was not successful from Eternal.
That should have gone in. That feels so robbed. That actually feels so robbed. I mean, is it the speed? Is it the hitbox of the way this works? Either way, those are complaints they could have to file with your manager at Supercell, because we've got 5 seconds left on this round and it's going to go into overtime. In theory, Jubileo should be popping off here. He's got that hypercharge at the ready. Gonna go for the long and inevitable shot. Pekka hesitated there. I'm calling it. He didn't react to it. He had a delay in the movement or something. That was so blockable. That felt so bad to watch. Okay, this mode in overtime is a problem for sure. That's something gotta highlight, right? In overtime, is the goal too big?
I think so. I think the goal needs to be smaller. It needs to be possible to defend the goal as, like, I don't know, as a single person. Yeah? Or as 2 people, basically, because this goal is so large and the corners are already taken out in most cases. In fact, actually have 2 obstacles in there already. Motep, oh, didn't get the chance to destroy them. That was a little feisty there, a little ambitious on that super. But as I was saying, no, I think the goal could definitely be a bit smaller, because in overtime, it's almost impossible to defend with less than 3 people.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, perhaps the barriers on the left and right shouldn't break, like, you know, or maybe just make the goal smaller in general. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the designer of this. You know who is the designer, though? That's right. None of these players either. They're just interested in getting goals, and that's what Pekka is doing. That was a brilliant spawn trap by them. But immediately Eternal, they're not phased by it. I'm noticing a trend. Motep, naughty. That is not allowed. RHZ is going to get cleared out by Christian. This should all, in seriousness, be a goal. They are trying to wind down the clock. Okay. If Christian toyed with that idea any longer, it would have taken, yeah, it would have been over.
Eternal want this puck. It looks like they might get it. KR, the spearhead of this charge, and nope, sacrificed to Motep and turned into a bit of supercharge. This puck's going to, bounce right back over to Kawe BR. That's the hypercharge going to Jubileu, and he's probably not going to die. Let's face it, he's got so much range. No, you gotta be kidding! He knew the lineup! Pekka gets one from all the way on the opposite side, and Eternal find that this treat that they dedicated to Jubileu was completely wasted.
That was going to be trying to 1v1 Motep here on that right side. That's Pekka in the shadow room. He would have intercepted it, but that's exactly the strength of Cordelius. We're all tied up 2-2. As the map continues to get torn up, more lineups are being exposed. There's a weakness on the right side of the Eternal base. That's why you're seeing both the B and Cowbell trying to protect this one. Managing to get it there. Shoots it back to Pekka. Jubileu supered for that one. That's kind of interesting.
I guess he decided it was worth it. I don't feel like it really was, because this super is going to mean a lot in overtime. We got 10 seconds left till these walls break down. Motep knows the power of it. They just need one little kill. Kawe would be a worthy one, but this puck has slipped out of control. Why is it passed all the way over there? Pekka's going to have to expend a super to get this one over to RHZ. No, slips past RHZ, goes over to the goal where it's intercepted, now across field, but Frank should be able to defend this. Does get it just as he respawns, and he has the super this time, but it's going to take yet another kill to open this goal sufficiently for a goal, and Pekka has no line of sight with this. No, blocked once more by Jubileu, and Eternal's back in possession.
Jubileu's gonna just bank the shots to the left and the right. He's got infinite ammo, doesn't have to worry about doing that. Puck control is so important in overtime. A team wipe here would be an easy kill. They're throwing the puck over to the side of SKC. It's not a good angle. Now Motep passes over to Pekka. Hypercharges forward, finds the super shot. It's a little bit too close. RNC now passes it back to Motep, gets the heal across Pekka. Now trying to force it in, can't get it in. Okay, that's 2 kills open. Christian gets the puck. A straight super shot down there, but Motep catches it in the split second, manages to save it. RNC, he's holding on to it, passes over to Motep, last attempt here, into Christian, never mind, is it gonna go in? Oh my god! threads the needle at the last second to get it done.
That is what I call Brawl Hockey. What a slap shot to finish things off. I needed to see that a second time. And to think that we would see plays like this in the preseason icebreaker, and we're only just getting warmed up. What a beginning to a match, and what a rally in overtime. I did not think that that would be happening. Now, that right there was just ridiculous. What a robbery. KR deserved that goal, and RHZ, he just barely avoided that super and avoided getting sent to the realm. Look at this, though. Pekka blocked. It was sent right back to the goal. KR once more robbed by Motep respawning. And in the final seconds, just look at this absolute masterpiece right down the middle.
Gotta feel for Eternal there, just a little bit. I mean, in its excitement, right? Kalba, he wanted to clear the ball. I mean, the puck, whatever it's called at this point. Maybe even go for a goal there. Just wanted to chuck it as far as he possibly could. It's a split-second decision. Nobody's flaming anybody here for that kind of a mistake to happen. And even then, the rest of Eternal, there were still 2 members alive to cover a goal. But Pekka, split-second flick of the wrist. He finds it, threads the needle. Ole, ole, an easy shot there to find. But my goodness, I almost fell out of my seat, and I'm sure all of you did. And guess what, folks? That was only set 1.
It felt like a lot longer. I thought we might even see a tie. Actually, no, it's such a good thing that they added the whole overtime mechanic to Brawl Hockey, because I think we saw it wasn't necessarily added to Basketball, right? We saw a moment where it bounced a bunch and the clock came down to 0, but we also saw a moment where mid-air, this was in a different show, not today, where the shot was mid-air and it stopped at the end of regulation. So it's a little peculiar how that mechanic may work, but man, it gave us such an awesome moment from SK Kalalis SA. Now, Spoo, let's start talking about Ball Hog over here. We saw it in our first match of the day. It's the same leading couple of maps in the same order as well, curiously. I like the thought process from Eternal, specifically with Gale, because Gale is one of my personal favorites to playing basketball. I know you don't care about the caster perspective, but is such a great defensive brawler in general. Anytime people are rushing you down, you are ready to shove them away.
Oh yeah, perfect analysis on it, honestly. But you know what beats an old man with a snowblower and ice? You know what melts ice? That's right. It's energy drinks, and that's what Max brings to the table here.
Yeah, it's just battery acid.
Yeah, it's just battery acid, to be honest. I wasn't setting up for the amber, guys. It's nothing to do with the amber. Whoa! We've got some cheese in the house here, quite literally. Mo's gonna join the table here on SK Kalalis, and I'm seeing what he's cooking up here. I suppose self-pass with the super works in Brawl Ball, works in Brawl Hockey. Does it work in Ball Hog? It's time for us to find out. But the thing about it is, well, as you said, in this preseason icebreaker, South America has had the benefit of being the last to play, and I almost feel that they're taking advantage of that. We saw Meg from EMEA. We saw NA abuse Amber just so much. We saw East Asia, you know, the first ones to bring out the Max, and now in South America, they bring it all together. We've got a Meepo here as well, and then we got a Mo now. I love the way that this meta is evolving, even in such a short 4 days.
Yes, well, and so some of these brawlers we've seen in different places, yeah, like occasionally. The Meeple we actually have seen used to great success, and I am pretty sure every region. I don't entirely remember whether we saw it in EMEA, but this Mo from SK Kalalis SA, I think we might have seen Mo on Brawl Hockey previously. It's a big asset to be able to super forward and then have another super left to go to score any sort of goal in this game. We're going to get SK Kalalis and Eternal here on Ball Hog for set number 2. It's another ball mode. KR, oh, he had some bad intentions moving towards that three-point line. Kawe BR has the lineup. Oh, but he stepped beyond the line. No! Actually was just outside of it and managed to get a three-pointer online.
Maples Mansion gonna box RHC in for the moment. It's already a tiny map. Let's just make it smaller. Now the ball transferred up north. Gale's gonna blow everybody down there, but Mo's gonna dive in there. Pekka just kind of went into sort of a blender there between Christian and Jubileo, just completely eviscerated. It's open. Should be an easy layup, and it is. Eternal, you guys might be pretty bad at hockey, but you're pretty good at basketball.
Hey, look, not all of these skills carry over or intersect necessarily. Plus, the comp is definitely worthy of discussion. I think Brawl Hockey and Brawl and Basketball are played substantially differently because of the constraints of the map. So we're going to see whether SK Kalalas can adapt and evolve over time.
Let's see if they can adapt it up. Our Eternal will help us by pushing this to map number 4. And folks, by the way, I'm totally not biased. I need this set number 4 because of data collection purposes, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, Eternal, you just gotta win one set, okay? Just one set is fine. You don't have to go to set 5. I mean, we don't need this to set 5, but RNG is gonna be put into a box at the moment. The basketball is nicely cornered down in the southern part of the map. No way for any of them to reach that. But folks, this is an interesting position to be in. The strongest point on these maps are actually the corners because it's easier to score there. Now, that being said though, that is exactly why Eternal are fighting tooth and nail for this southern part of the map. Yep, just box RNC out and ball controls back with me.
Ball tossed into the box, over to Motep, and this is actually perfect. Look at all that speed they're working with. 2 hypercharges popped, and they have no HP, so it kind of doesn't matter unless Pekka gets it all done. Has a super to deposit this one into the goal, and 3 points for SK Kalalas. 1-point game. It is just a single score that separates them from victory and tying up the set.
Motep's going on a tear here inside the mid. Already 1 kill to his name. Didn't connect there onto Kalba, who's got the hypercharge ready. Pekka goes on the ground for a moment, but then it's just torn up by Christian and Kalba, who's slowly healing back up. Now Jubileo going forward, blowing RHC away, and literally and not metaphorically, not going to be able to stop him there. The tornado goes up there. It's a mad scramble for this basketball. Kalba could potentially try for it, but there's just too much damage here to go for. Just going to have to reset now. Motep. Oh my god. Almost could have been a 3-pointer to end it all.
Could have been, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Jubileo was in position when he was needed, and he had that respawn shield active. To pass over to KR, not going to go anywhere. It's thrown away by Pekka as he expires. On the top side, ball is positioned. Kawe has an enemy boxed, a toss to mid that ends up only going to Pekka before, yeah, just saying, okay, you can't own goal in this mode. A little confusing there. A super pass to the top side, and Jubileo is ready to send this one over to KR for an attempt at a goal. Jubileo even attempts to get a gadget of his own. What is this catastrophe? What a weird way to end things off. Eternal had supers. They could have scored. I'm perplexed. This confounds me.
Here's how the comms went, okay, between the teams. It was like, all right, I'm going to pass you. Go for the score. Like, no, we're 3 points behind. You have to 3-point it. Then they pass it back and say, oh, shit, I have the 3-pointer. They're like, shit, we can't do this anymore. We're out of time. Okay, I shouldn't say shit on stream. But like,
thanks for saying it a third time.
Oh, my God, yeah. Like, that was hilarious. I mean, like, yeah, they needed the 3-point. Chad pointed it out. That's why that was a little bit of fumble there. But gotta say, though, I mean, Motep, really Motep. I didn't even get to finish the sentence.
It's already a 3-pointer for SK Kalalas SA. It looks like this is their mode. Well, it should be. They were the ones who selected it. They wanted to play ball hog. We'll see Kawe sneaking around the top side. Not enough DPS. Oh, and the goal was too far away. It was heading towards the bottom when he headed into that position, and he wasn't able to make anything out of that.
Yeah, SK Kalalas there are just going to purely be playing on defense now. But Christian, though, has no intention of stopping it. It's a complete open goal. This should be an easy 3-pointer. Hold your breath. Easy shot there for Christian, tying it up 3-3. Eternal need 1 more to get their first set and bring us to a set number 4 at least. The Meeples Mansion is going to drop down there, neutering RNC just for the moment, but it's only momentary.
3 points apiece. Any goal will do. The ball needs to go through the net any which way from any distance. KR has a plan. The plan is to die, but at least keep the ball away from his goal. Pekka, though, has the moment, and he has the positioning, sinks 2, and gets a set victory for SKC.
Oh man, 2 sets down feels bad. I mean, and this is a map that SK Kalalas, they picked this one, right? Eternal selected Brawl Hockey first, didn't go, well for them. And then this one was kind of going well, actually. I mean, there were moments here whereby I felt that if they just kept that up, they might have been able to bring it back. They took at least one game here. It was great from them, but unfortunately it didn't really materialize in the end, and that's gonna let SK Kalalas lead the series 2-0. And I think the next map is gonna be Eternal's map. Yeah, so they're gonna have a chance to come back, but they really need to start winning every single one from here on out.
Now let's look at the stats as well, because I actually expected more out of the Gale. I don't think it necessarily was to do with how Jubileu executed on it. It just came to the lack of range, basically. You're outranged by Amber, Max is faster than you, Mo's going to have better range, and you can't really do anything against an enemy with a respawn shield. And we saw like sort of a traffic jam that happened at the enemy goal that Jubileu couldn't do anything about. A brawler that's all about CC is not able to do anything. Their movement would have been way better to have in those moments. And Eternal probably reflecting on that a little bit, but they won't have any more ball modes in their future. It's over to Control, a bit of treasure hunt on Hidden in Plain Sight.
You know what else is hidden in plain sight?
What?
The Eternal win. Is what SK Kalalas fans are thinking, but that's not what Eternal are gonna be doing, guys. I mean, that was a bad one. That was a bad
If it's hidden in plain sight, that does imply that it exists. We just haven't seen it yet. And you know what, Spoo? I'm beginning to believe, because Ems has been first selected here. She somehow snuck through the bans. Also curious of SK Kalalas SA to get rid of Gale, as if, that was the biggest struggle they dealt with on Basketball. It was the worst performer on Eternal. But maybe it would allow for better passage to a different zone with the jump pad. I'm trying to understand.
I, too, am trying to understand it myself. I'm not too clear about what the plan is from Role, I think, who's coaching SKC here. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but letting the M's through, we always say this, you have to have a plan, right? So far, teams that have barely beaten the M's has been on Brawl Hockey. Control-based mode like this, I think it's a fat chance. Like, it's a lot harder, and it's so strong that you can, I mean, looking at the map structure, right? Big, nice bush in the middle. If M's gets control of that, both lanes are controlled. The M's gadgets, if you can take either one on this map. That's just how versatile it is. So if there's no need to bring up the friend zoner for security, she could even bring this other piercing gadget, the slow thing, with the Buffy that's just so strong, lets you charge this insane amount of hypercharges so quickly. And I think Eternal were hoping for it, because look at the brawlers that they banned. 2 Buffy brawlers out, and yeah, it's just power creep. They're just winning by power creep at this point.
Just gradually bringing more and more DPS. I think Rico has a place here, though we did see it used by Stamina. No, it wasn't Stamina. It was KDS Esports in North America. I think it was Sans on the Rico. And look, I don't think it's Sans' fault. He got destroyed on that matchup. He didn't really have a great place to play. Chester makes an appearance from Eternal. Should be a solid anti-tank. Can break open those walls if you really want to. Into Finks and into Charlie. Those aren't tanks. Just gonna point that out. So if SK Kalalas SA opt for more control and less tanky business, then that really nullifies the strategy that Eternal have approached with.
All right, let me cook, guys. SK Kalalas, they're gonna pick Sprout or Squeak.
Ew.
And it is Jover. Like, I'm a genius! I'm actually the genius! I'm the goat, dude! There's a reason why I'm still a caster.
2021 coach for Team Flash knows the game.
Yeah, bottomed out at that tournament, but I mean, it was
The tournament was the World Finals. Just gonna give him a little credit here.
Yeah, I got smashed by Bobby. But like, guys, like, look, it's obvious, right? So Eternal, let me break it down to you. Ems and Chester are fulfilling the same niche here, which is to basically be the anti-tank. And what anti-tank is eaten alive by is these type of control-based brawlers that have CC and control. I said maybe Sprout, because if you look at the map structure, look at those walls. There's no way to break them. And if you wall off one side, yeah. But they go for the safer one, which is this Squeak. And it's the same concept. Residue goes down, and Jubileo is not gonna have a lot of fun here. He's gonna force it, okay, and RNC knows the interaction. Just run at her, and there's nothing she can do. SKC might just be on the way to a 3-0.
Yeah, hold up, SKC, what's going on here? Another residue. This one's quite aggressive, and Jubilee is like, get me out of here! Give me a different lane! Go, Kawe! And Kawe's like, sorry man, but I'm actually slowed by the Squeak. Whoa, okay. Diffs the matchup on the left side. He's only on a shred of HP. Oh, you lucky duck. Had a bomb in the arsenal. Look, we can count the number of bombs and see if Kawe VR can win coin flips all the way, but he has to help out on this right side because they need to control both zones at this state of the game.
It's a good attempt to come back here, but bear in mind, Treasure Hunt is pretty hard to come back to. This is one of the criticisms of the mode so far. It's the fact that once you're behind, you just need to control one of the two sides to win, whereas if you are behind, you have to control both. So that's exactly what SKC are doing. Notice how Motep is leading left, and he doesn't care about Christian. He's like, yeah, Christian, you can be Ricochet all day long. I don't care. We're just going to control the left lane, and good luck breaking into here. Yep, I'm even going to put you in a cocoon just to add insult to injury. Nice hypercharge, Christian. It hit. It didn't hit me. It didn't hit anything. Pekka's even gonna insult the injury and be like, guess what? I'm not even just gonna control the left zone. I'm gonna control the right one just because I can.
Yeah, well, that kind of stinks for him because there are two brawlers coming over to the right side, and he's been deleted. Motep tries to take up residence on the right side, going to be removed by KR. Jubileu falls. Kawe soon to expire. We'll see Pekka actually hit with a barrage of shots, but no. With that hypercharged Fink Super, you are safe and sound. SK Kalalas proceed to match point.
We thought the Ems was good.
Turns out it was too, but the Squeak was cracked.
It's the Chester, man.
You think it's the Chester?
It's the Chester. I'm just gonna be honest, right? I'm gonna be honest. The Legend 2027 future best draft in the world, totally. You know, I'm retiring as a caster and coming back to being a coach. Yeah, that's not happening. Yeah, no, I mean, it's a pretty fundamental era there, I think, on the draft side. And they're going to struggle, but I think they're changing up the strategy, okay? So they tripled down on Treasure Hunt, right? So they sent 1 mid, 2 left, and they brute forced RNC out of there. That was a kind of good strategy. I think if they win the mid and let Jubileo start getting more value off this Ems, that just might be a pathway to get back into this one. But yeah, at the moment, they've just got an Ems that's alive, and she's doing quite a lot though. Oh my god, that's a lot of damage. That's a team wipe, actually.
Well, Eternal might be back on the map. They should at least equalize the count of treasure. Right side's going to be a little messy. No, actually. Treasure spawned a little faster than anticipated. Kawe is going to be getting that. He's even got the heal at the perfect moment to have it. Chester might be able to clutch up here. He's got another one on that zone. He's been playing solo the entire time. RHZ caught between a rock and a hard place. And on the right side, Pekka's doing whatever he can to get control. But even Pop Rocks will do in clearing off an entryway into this right side.
With this huge 7-3 lead, now the equation has flipped. It's SKC that need control of both sides, and they just lost control of both sides. Now it is SKC on their last legs. They have to miraculously get 3 team wipes back to back, and I don't think it's gonna happen. Eternal, all 3 members, nice and healthy. Could this be the beginning of a reverse sweep? Perhaps the M's prophecy may still yet be true, that this brawler, be damned, she's too strong, she can't be stopped. Every time she's picked, it's an instant win. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, the Squeak thing was good, and I think, you see, put M's in mid, give M's win lane, get 1 super, GG. Maybe that's the plan. Jubileo is back on the sidelines, and yeah, they brute forced it again. They forced RHZ out of that place, and as long as Jubileo keeps getting value, that just might be the way for Eternal to come back.
Jubileo is now chasing down RHZ, and he's been located. With him being so deep and estranged from the normal push, he's actually going to be staggered. Just playing catch-up with Pekka and Motep at the moment. small beat is afforded for Eternal to get another couple of treasures. We'll see Kawe on the right side versus Motep avoids the cocoon. Not even the slimy trail is going to be a real threat to him. Just needs one more shot to take down Motep, but RHZ chimes in at the perfect time, and he'll even get to help out on the left side as well. It is a complete wipe for SK Kalalas, and Eternal are going to have to get a comeback the hard way. But they could still just push a single zone if they really wanted to. They're ahead by so much that they could control one zone, get their 4 treasures from there, and call it a set.
And that's not what we're seeing from Eternal, though. They understand. I mean, they're ahead. They have this tactical advantage that they can easily exploit. They just need to double down on a lane. But at the moment, they're split in their efforts. They're trying to still win on both, and they're suffering as a result. Pekka has constantly been able to deny the M's on that left. Kalba should be able to get this one. That's another treasure in his name, but they are still gradually losing out. Pekka, now 5 to 7 in treasures. It's just Jubilee against the world, but it is an M's. She's going to go down here. 2 zones back in SKC's possession, and it's just chain feeding going on the side of Eternal. Okay, they managed to force the right side. They finally realized we just need to control one of these 2 zones to win. And
they could be better prepared. KR has that hypercharged super. There's no escape from that. Motep was put in a blender practically on the right side. The wood chipper, basically. KR's got another one up his sleeve as well. Lasers Motep. Those spiders can't protect you. Fire off another chain super. Eternal, from the brink of defeat, will bring themselves back up on their feet. And they'll head to set 4 pretty soon. I had the feeling that this was going to be a tragedy, that it was going to be another 1-2 loss for Eternal. But they'll hang in there for at least another set.
Oh man, I mean, now I sound stupid for saying that the squeak was good and everything, but
no,
hey,
you don't.
Game one was good. I mean, conceptually it made sense, and then they figured out, hang on guys, why are we running the M's into the squeak's residue? Let's just run him mid, and there's no way the squeak can even see us and stop us. And if you bait out RHG's gadget just one time and he loses control, it's kind of cooked. I think that's kind of why I did prefer the what do you call it? What's that brawler with a leaf on the head that can put walls up? Sprout, yeah. I'm losing it, folks. I'm losing it. I think I preferred that because I thought, at least from the tactical perspective, that yes, you give up the early game a bit more, but once you get a single hedge down, you can cycle it for eternity and lock down one of the lanes. I guess the problem is you do lose out the early game, and yeah, Eternal. Great comeback from them. 2-1. They're bringing it back gradually. Could be the beginning of a reverse sweep. Now they are back on the SK Kalalas map. So, you know, don't jump to conclusions. It could still be a 3-1.
Wow. And we've only said that like 5 times today. So we might as well fit in a 6th one at the end of the stream. Though it is, of course, only the 2nd semifinal. It could be another occurrence in the grand finals, and it could be SK Kalalas. In fact, I would say it's most likely SK Kalalas from this vantage point going to the grand finals. They had a match point for a couple of games in a row, and Eternal clawed their way back. Now, that was on Eternal's map selection. They chose to play Treasure Hunt on that one. SK Kalalas should feel a little bit more comfortable here, and you can see the product of the preparation. Shade banned out during this set. Shade's been a repeat selection in the past. Shade's also been counterable using Hank. So I do wonder why SK Kalalas SA decided that they didn't want to see this brawler that would actually be really good as a last pick. They must have figured that, okay, we don't want to play Hank into this because Hank turned out to not be a good solution into the Shade.
And bear in mind that the last time we saw this was in the hands of Loud, Kyodog, and Firecrow, and they really made the Shade look good. They supported it with energy drinks, which, Spokes, I'm on 2, and I am jittery. I think RHZ is about to drink a whole lot of that in this set, and if he drinks just the right amount of it, they just might take the entire series here. But yeah, Max is, you know, repeatedly seen play in jump to conclusions, and I love it. I mean, I love a good Max all the time, and I love it even more when it actually contributes to the type of the mode. This is the rare mode where move speed literally can make or break whether you score, because of the fact that, you know, in the current iteration of Present Plunder, you can't throw the present. You literally just can only run with it. And so Max allows any brawler to just have the move speed to conduct daylight robbery, essentially.
Yeah, well, and another thing that allows that to happen is having a purple button and having very fast move speed. I'm looking at you, Motep, the Crow selected player, because you really can just use that speed booster, or excuse me, the defense booster, and get out of there. Speed booster, yeah, give yourself a max speed by pressing on your hypercharge and make your way to the enemy side. What I'm seeing a lack of, however, is anything that travels over the water. That's been a prime asset for any brawler on these present Plunder maps so far, particularly the ones with water, is being able to float in a straight line towards that present and walk it back cleanly to the other side. Eve was one of the ways that was navigated. Angelo made an appearance in North America. It was banned in advance of Eve being picked also when we saw it earlier here in South America. So I do wonder, is Eternal going with that? Yes. They've selected Ali. It's going to be the aggression that constantly cycles to the enemy side, and they're just going to keep on throwing at the wall and hope it sticks.
Pretty good here. Like SK Kalalas have got a lot of options here. They can opt to go back for control here. Rico may not be too bad if they're opting for that. If they, however, want a water walker of their own, there's only a few left inside, and I don't think Eve is a good selection here.
Yeah, well, maybe you should take it up with SKC, buddy.
I called out the squeak, and I...
Okay, yeah, we're one step forward, 2 steps back. Unfortunate, Spoo. You're sitting at -1 right now. You're not on good terms with the SK Kalalas SA drafter anymore, it seems.
Let me explain, right? I mean, I can see it. It's decent into the B, I guess. And I was just gonna say, I thought that it felt like it's a bad matchup into this alley, but the more that I stare at it, if it does get a hypercharge super online, it's kind of annoying against the student, and it is a water walker of their own. But yeah, I do think Motep is a bit vulnerable up against Calbra, and you're gonna see that a lot this game. Calbra's gonna have free reign going around to go from side to side to help out his teammates, whereas Motep has to just play the traditional pinching game. It's not a bad game though. I mean, it is working out so far. Calbra is really annoying. RHC is gonna get him down there, and that should be potentially the first present getting stolen from one of the two sides.
Okay, Eternal, what do you have in store for us? Cowie's gonna pop that gadget and pursue Motep, knows that he can be jumped away from, so he's just gonna go to the enemy side. And there's not enough DPS. P.E.K.K.A jumps in, and it's blocked by KR. Such excellent team play with the defense booster. It's one present for Eternal, and I'm beginning to believe.
He's going for a second already. He's inside the base. There's no defense from SKC. They're gonna have to decide here. Calbo decided to come back though. Didn't really want to stop it. That P.E.K.K.A's gonna sacrifice the super. That might be a one-way trip. There's no way that he can stop it from Jubileo. Now it's actually at the furthest possible point from RHZ to do anything. Calba goes back into his enraged form. That pops the gadget. He's gonna be trying to make a play here. They see the hypercharge from RHZ has gone online. That's the first energy drink. Here we go. Calbo's going to jump to a conclusion, and P.E.K.K.A jumps to another one. And that just may allow Calbo to extract out of there, just running into the base, trying to stay away as much as possible. P.E.K.K.A's going to try and stop him. Okay, Ali's making it all the way back to the base. But where's the present? It's being held hostage by Motep.
When RHZ just standing on top of this present, it's going to expire. Eternal have to stand on top of the enemy present if they want to be able to get this. And this one's in a pretty difficult spot as well. Cowie needs to stay on top of this right now. That might actually be enough to get them the difference. Both presents slowly despawning. Which is going to go away first? That will determine who gets the point here. And it's coming down to the final fractions of a second. SK Kalalas will not get the chance. It's Eternal and a split-second difference.
The body block meta, the alley diving, the water grabbing the present, and then letting B basically, like, just, you can't hit my alley. You can't hit my alley. I'll press gadget, I'll press everything. I will defend this alley with my life, and this is the weakness of the Eve, by the way. I mean, big part of it is just the fact that it just doesn't do enough damage. I mean, if there's a proper damage dealer like a Rico could possibly stop this one, but Calba is just tearing through this SK Kalalas roster. Did we jinx it already? It could be a reverse sweep that we're looking at here.
Well, okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not jump to conclusions just yet. That's number 7, by the way. Eternal have just drafted this wonderful comp, and it doesn't seem like SK Kalalis SA were ready for it at all. Kawe, not only is he getting kills, but he's stealing that present too. RHZ does his best. We'll see that present actually repositioned to the right side. Not really the worst. It's much better than going closer to the respawn points of SK Kalalis. But Eternal just need to send another solid alley push up here, realistically speaking. They could also just play defense the rest of the time and win. But a minute 30, and the best capability of Kawe is to move this present to the other side. He's gotten it just a little bit further. Inch by inch, it's getting to Eternal's side.
Yeah, this kind of feels like Miko in Heist, right? Like, look at Carver. He's so fast. He's so fast. He's not even just, you know, he doesn't even break a sweat. Yeah, he's going to die one more time here, but he got a pretty decent amount of value there, and it's the gadget that's giving him that obscene amount of move speed, by the way, and sometimes, you know, naturally he can get that move speed as well if other brawlers are low enough. At the moment, he's not got a target. Pekka is pretty low. He's staring straight at him. He's on the hunt. One more pounce to do the trick. Pekka's going to go down. However, he's got his eyes on the present. He forced RNG to pop the hypercharge early. That is not going to be a good thing for the max comp here. However, once again trying to snag the present, decided to go back and... Ooh, is that opening for RNG?
Could be, could not be. Yeah, no good for RHZ. He was dominated by that B. An excellent defensive brawler. Sitting in that position with the opening into the home zone and into mid is really, really strong. You're able to defend such a large portion of the map at just one time. This present has fallen pretty far back. For Eternal, it's going to have to be a pretty deep push by SK Kalalis SA if they want to get it, and they've only got 10 seconds to retrieve it.
And there was 2 ways that Eternal could have won. Just defend this last present with their allies. This is exactly what they've decided to do. The present was even reset on the other side. So a lot of security that Eternal have had, and successfully they are indeed going to a set number 5. Folks, we're going the distance with this one. And it's off the backs of, I said it, don't pick the Eve.
It wasn't strong enough. It didn't provide the aggression. SK Kalalis were lacking in anything that could often get to the enemy side and bring anything back home. But Eternal had literally the best option for that. They had Kawe constantly running in as this alley. And SK Kalalis SA, they opt to, well, they resort to things like putting Max on defense. Of all things that you could do, where does Max need to be? Well, she needs to be near the enemy side, utilizing that speed. Speeding up Crow, who can use a shield, who can use a hypercharge, who can use a super to deal damage in close proximity while sitting on top of that present. You didn't see it happen once because they were always on the back foot. You know what it felt like is watching a Chuck game in Heist, where you're watching SK Kalalis slowly lose over time because the brawler in alley was way too strong and the defense from Eternal was on point. KR was a menace when it came to defending that home zone.
Oh yeah, that shot from the back of the head was just so nice. I mean, RNG running in there, and then we thought for a moment that he might be able to get out, and Kristen just 2-taps him, right? With hypercharge, so that's like a 5,000 damage shot. Right. So good luck getting out of that one. That is, however, the end of our experimental modes, and we've got to crown a winner. And that is going to bring us back to a classic map. It's going to be on Hot Zone. And these teams, I believe they agreed to play on... Was it Open Business?
It was Open Business. That is right. Yes, we had it set as parallel plays for the fallback map, but we did give the teams an option to agree on what that final map would be, just in the interest of spicing things up. It felt like with all of these new modes, we should have something a little bit more normal in terms of hot zone maps. So we let them go for a single zone one instead of parallel plays if they really wanted to. And I think this is the first time that we're seeing it actually played.
Nah, we saw it in East Asia. We saw it in East Asia.
But that we're seeing this different hot zone map. Yes, as a decider.
As a decider. Yeah, okay. That is indeed different. The first time we're getting to a set 5, effectively in South America or North America. Yeah, or North America. It never got the set 5 in North America. They were just too fast. So here, it's time to conduct business on this map. Looking at the bans, I think Frank is going to be highly contested. Ems, highly contested. Shelly, highly contested. I'm just listing out Buffy brawlers at this point. What else did I miss? Mortis, highly contested, especially on zero ping. I think I could definitely see it happen here. So basically the Buffy menu, I think both teams have got to be so careful. Now there's no more excuses, right? Like, I know no excuses is a map, by the way, but there's literally no more excuses for open business here. These teams should be well familiar with these maps. These are scrimmed maps at this point, as these teams would have been practicing. So I'm expecting the bans to be well focused on that. Eternal, judging from the bans, Finks, Ems, and Frank. I can telegraph a little bit that they're probably the second pick here. They're trying to deny SK Kalalas a unstoppable first pick in the form of any of these three brawlers.
Okay, well, we'll wait and see who gets that first pick, who wins the coin flip between SK Kalalas, SA, and Eternal. What are those brawler combinations going to be? We see Frank banned out, so that whole discussion around Barry is still on the table, but not as strong as it typically would be. Also, Ems not in the equation. Our other buffied brawlers, yeah, you mentioned them already, but this Meeple Hypercharge, it's still so strong, and it's decently versatile. You don't need the walls to succeed as Meeple. In many cases, you're able to succeed in spite of walls thanks to the super, which has other benefits besides allowing you to shoot through walls and walk through walls during a hyper.
That's right. It's one of the best support brawlers in the game that has gradually creeped into being a favorite. A lot of players say that it's an auto-aim brawler and that doesn't really take much skill, but the thing about Meeple is, I mean, guess what? Yeah, you got an auto-aim shot, but you still gotta have great movement. And Meeple doesn't have a fast move speed or anything. It's just a normal move speed. So to, weasel into those nice positions isn't the easiest thing in the world. And that said though, as a first pick, leading out for it, I'm wondering this is setting up for something. Now Eternal though, bit more straight to the point, right? Pam, just one of EMEA's favorites and definitely a sort of really popular brawler in Hot Zone, just for the fact that she's just so well sustainable. And as soon as you see this Meeple come in, you can identify that, oh, Meeple doesn't do a tremendous amount of DPS. Pam might be a good way to answer it. And Cordelis is just anti-tank. It's a good way to prophylactically deal with that.
Whenever I see a Pam, my reptile brain instinctively says Larry and Laurie. There are other throwers in the game that are tailor-made for specific situations, but I always think of Larry when it comes to Pam, or just like dealing with turrets in general. Your attack hits twice, and unless Pam's turret grows legs and starts walking around, you will be hitting both of those shots on a stationary target. So Eternal, they've picked Pam honestly kind of early and run this risk. What are they going to do about it? KR is going to have to be ridiculous on this Cordelius, or they're going to have some kind of wall breaker.
Ooh, and then the Shade to pair it up with their poor man's Hank. Gotta admit here, so I'm guessing Meeple here is going to be taking Meeple's Mansion, and this is to set up for that nice long arms from Shade. And in general, Shade inside this map has never really been bad. With a ban on the Hank, it is sort of a little bit protected, but we have reached the era where, well, Hank is not the only brawler that can deal with it. Interesting. So Eternal just opt to go for a little bit more of a classic selection here. Last picking the Stew, opting to break open as many walls as they can, I assume, with that breakaway gadget. But the problem is that that gadget has a cooldown, and it's going to take very long to open up the entire map. The question is it enough time to open up the map sufficiently to neuter the Shade and this Larry and Laurie?
Well, Eternal had to find a brawler for Jubileo to play. You see that was swiftly swapped over to him. As soon as I see Stu selected on any team that Jubileo is a part of, I know that he's getting the brawler. Now, if it looks like a classic composition, then I get the feeling that they're really drafting from Jubileo's brawler pool what he's good at and needing to fulfill the role of wall breaker as well. We saw Eternal get trapped over here in mid by that Meeple gadget, but didn't seem to block away like I think SK Kalalas intended to do. And Kawi can still move forward here, but he doesn't want to walk forward into the Motep on this Larry. KR is on a warpath right now. He's already gotten 2 down. Jubileo breaks the walls that Motep needs to survive, and the clone is down, but there's no Motep to be seen.
But the Clown Pin Karma is coming in onto Pekka there. Yeah, Christian did so well there, spotting the opportunity to run it down there. After Meeple's Mansion was committed one shot less. That's all it took. Now Pekka's gonna go into the Shadow Realm after being put inside a box. Now he's out of the box, and now he's back in the face of 3 Eternal Brawlers. That is not where you want to be as a Shade, and this percentage is just counting up there for Eternal. Jubileo's even gonna tear down the wall that RSG's just painfully set up. Pekka manages to clean up Christian in the back, but it's a massive, massive disparity in that percentage, and Motep has yet to even get a super down just yet.
KR with a hypercharge super gets 1, looks for 2, and Pekka is deep into enemy territory. He's only got a bit of HP left, pops the hypercharge for additional damage and will succeed. It's going to be a bit difficult for him to get rid of that turret. Instead decides doesn't really want to. Yeah, sitting just on the edge of that range. SK Kalala's SA, thankfully off of that, have managed to scatter Eternal and get on top of this zone. And you take advantage of KR respawning right on top of that as well. RHZ in close range, can't be in for a good ride. Eternal clutch up, and this could be the comeback.
It could be a full reverse sweep, ladies and gentlemen. Eternal just might be doing it. SKC, just look at the set score. It all turned around in that fateful set number 3. And it's really, yeah, it's possibly an entirety of a reverse sweep that we've not seen so far inside South America. What a way to start the year. The way that I see this moving forward, though, is that there's going to be some adjustments that SKC have to make. It looks like they've swapped out the lanes here, but Jubileo's already got 1 super opened up. That's going to be a big resource he can use up against Motep.
Jubileo with the first wall break for Eternal. It's going to hurt the impact of both Motep and, of course, RHZ feeling the pressure. Motep has to walk away towards the left side, opts to run into enemy territory. What's the big idea behind this one? Jubileo's also got to be close to his next gadget, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. A little bit of breakthrough, and none of that shrapnel hitting Motep, but the ordinary fireworks do. Eternal has carved out some space for themselves and relegated Motep to this single 2x3 block of rock on the bottom left.
And now he's stuck inside a... Never mind. He's back to the respawn pool. He took 2 seconds to fall there. RHG's got this hypercharge active. He's going to be throwing it into these walls. The Meeple's Mansion, though, didn't really catch on anyone. Pekka got the hypercharge out, but Christian immediately sent him to the Shadow Realm. That's a great play there from Christian to protect his entire team. Could have been a teamwork that happened. And we're back to this 1 versus 1. Now 1 versus 0 as Jubileo takes that win. Christian's back to stop Pekka from advancing any further, and the map is broken up sufficiently enough that I don't think it's going to be possible for SKC to come back without a miracle.
75% earned the points so far. SKC storm the gates. Jubileo's healing up before his eventual push in. Make it 1, counting up to 2. Number 3 is hiding inside of that block on the left side. They're spinning around on open business. They've only got a few percent left to go. Count up to 95%. Could this be the reverse sweep? Yes, it is! Eternal do it somehow! The Brawl Snitches queue on open business. Sit in the zone and be their own Brawl witness. Do you see the start player? Yeah, I'm right here. Spin around, get the whole crew sent up for years. Drop a little MF Doom on you for an Eternal reverse sweep. I can't believe it.
Look, I'm all for upsets. I love SK Kalalas, but today Eternal's got 1 more fan in me because whoever's cooking up these drafts for them in those last 3 sets. Hey, come on, guys. Did you change drafters mid-set? Did you do it? Don't worry.
Be
I'm
honest.
not gonna catch you, okay? Be honest. I'm not gonna catch you. Meanwhile, SK Kalalas, bro, what happened? I mean, were you listening to stream? Were you listening to what I said about the picks and stuff? Because, yeah. I mean, I gotta admit, it just felt like all 3 of the last few drafts. I mean, there's a reason why we're seeing Eternal clinch out in these 2 zeros, and, you know, feels like SK Kalalas have to, like, just pull miracles out of thin air to just try and get a comeback. Has to do the draft. In this one in particular, the big weakness of picking that Larry and Lori, you know, in 4-5 position is that the rest of the draft hasn't really been exposed yet. And they put themselves in a spot whereby they were trying to develop 2 different threats simultaneously, but they had a common counter. It's the wall break. And Eternal, they were comfortable with Stu being their sole wall break. They knew that Pam would be stalwart enough to stall for enough time for Jubilee to come online, and he did in both games.
Just an absolutely stellar match that we have just witnessed. It marks Eternal's ascension to the grand finals. And, well, we're going to have to go ahead and get them in that. Folks, In just a moment, Eternal will be taking on the first team to advance on to the Grand Finals, Loud. We're going to go to a quick break, and we're going to be right back for the Grand Finals. You're watching the Preseason Icebreaker South America. Welcome back, everyone, to the preseason icebreaker here in South America. Spoo, you were giving us a little celebration, it looked like. We're about to bring things to a conclusion. It's the 4th region, and it's the 3rd and final match of the night. And you know what? We're pretty deep into the stream. Why don't we remind everyone, Spoo, of this unique format that we're bringing here in the preseason icebreaker?
It's a 4-team single elimination, but the similarities to BSC and the standard best of 5 sets. We are on the final match of the preseason icebreaker in its entirety, by the way. So I'm pretty sad, but if you just tuned in, we're still gonna fill in on the format. So map picks. How is it gonna work? We've got 4 wacky modes in here, and then we've got Hot Zone just as a control experiment here. That'll be the last tiebreaker mode. It's predetermined. So teams got to take turns to pick these modes. You'll see what the teams picked on later on. There's some strategy in there that can be discussed, and that is exactly the point of this tournament that we're exploring. Global bans, similar concept. 99 brawlers in the game, folks. That's too many brawlers and too little bans. So we listen to the players and we try to come up with a way to express new bans. And the way we did it, simple global bans. Let's just bring back a blast from the past. If you guys were pro players back then, you'll know that we always had global bans back in the day when it was still blind pick. So by bringing it back and adding it to the draft format, that brings up to a potential of 6 plus potentially 4 bans. So an upper limit of about 10 bans.
Yeah, we're just waiting for those players to get a match right now. So we're walking you guys through the format once more just to make sure that everything is crystal clear before we get on with our grand finals.
Yeah, and as we've said, this is the 4th and final region. We've expressed this dearly to all of our teams. Let's look to the bracket to see how things have gone so far here in South America. Now, in the first semifinal, it was Loud versus Familia Nunes, and Loud took it pretty convincingly 3-1. At the very least, Familia Nunes got 1 set, so we got to see all 4 of our new experimental modes. But on the other side, SK Kalalas versus Eternal was a massive, and I mean absolutely massive reverse sweep. Dare I say unexpected. It was so to the wire. I mean, SK Kalalas were basically winning each set 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, and then Eternal at the end got, I think, pretty good in the draft ready, managing to just secure out good draft after good draft. Fantastic, 4 or 5 selections there. Great ally pick there on Present Plunder, and they've earned their spot thoroughly here up against Loud.
Yeah, well, let's start talking about that one. Loud versus Eternal. We're kicking it off our grand finals here in the last region, South America. Let's talk about it, Spoo. Looks like Ancient Treasure has finally been picked as the first map.
This is a reversal, right? So we started off with East Asia. Everybody was picking hot zone maps. Everybody was, just leaning into familiarity. Now we're in the final one in South America. And folks, South American teams, I love you guys, all right? I love the fact that you guys are so bold and not afraid at all to express yourselves, because they picked Ancient Treasure first and jumped to conclusion second. No more Brawl Hockey, no more Ball Hog in the first 2, but they did pick it later on. So, Super Slaps next, then we got Ball Hog, and we're going to end on open business. Global bans, though, no Poco Loco here. They hate it, right? After what Adrian did to this brawler, and after they saw it in East Asia and EMEA, they probably decided, yeah, guys, this brawler's a problem. We gotta deal with it.
It's been eliminated on both sides. It is buffies galore in the global bans, but Poco is that exception. He did get buffed recently, so it makes a bunch of sense. And he's been a huge issue any match where he has been present. Looking at you, East Asia. Bans for both sides are in the set bans for Ancient Treasure. Mortis out of the equation. It's funny to see Squeak in the bans from Eternal, that maybe they feel a little bit traumatized after facing SKC.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, it was a good pick, but they had M's, right? So it simplifies the equation a lot. This Mortis is a respect ban, 100%. Like, they saw what Loud did with it on this map, and they're like, that is a problem. We have to change things up. The rest of the bans, I think, pretty standard, though. And Eternal, they're going to open up with our favorite Egyptian Circle Lord. It's going to be the Sphinx. Pretty good on Ancient Treasure, I gotta say. I mean, it's an in-lore theme, I guess.
The royalty of the radius, you can call him, has made his appearance as a first pick. 2 picks back-to-back from Loud. Loud gets what Loud wants, and they knew precisely what they wanted here. They want the Frank, and the Charlie is there to enable it. But also, let's acknowledge what the Charlie was used for in North America. There were numerous occasions where the Cocoon made an appearance suspiciously close to when that treasure spawned from the zone. And this is one of those ways that you can snag, steal, whatever you want to call it, a treasure that would normally be rightfully your enemy's.
Yeah, and not to mention, it's Frank. Right? Like,
yeah.
This brawler has been so dominant. I mean, after the sort of post-Buffy's nerf to Ems, and, you know, she's still getting globally banned because she's just that strong. Frank has seen global bans today already, and this is just showing just how good it is. Eternal, though, they respond interestingly with this Juju, which I know we discussed in parallel plays up against Frank that, you know, it doesn't really offer enough DPS to bring down the Frank, but what it does offer is just sort of an easy way to just continuously deal damage and you do utility to both lanes. In this case, it's a little bit of water, if you can see. Not that I think it's super relevant. I don't think the slow is going to be that big of a deal. So it's really just more about getting that move speed down to get the quick shots in, get the Grigio online, and maybe apply extra pressure. But they wrap it out with the Lumi. This has been another way to deal with the Frank, but in this modern format, I mean, that Buffy Frank, if he lands Irresistible Attraction, it's a death sentence.
Last selection. What does Loud think is the answer to all of this? Allie, the alligator. Is that an alligator living in her hair? Okay, that's about the only line that I know from the Allie theme song, but she's been really irritating to deal with, basically, on any map with substantial terrain. Looking at a bunch of bushes that could be utilized, a little bit of water at mid that makes her a pretty viable assassin. And she was awesome for stealing presents, so why would she be any bad when it comes to stealing treasure that is spawned near an enemy?
Yeah. And this seems like Kaiotok just making a statement, right? He's like, you can ban Mortis. Guess what? I don't need it. You guys have left it wide open, right? I mean, you pick Lumi and Juju in the same comp. The disrespect, thinking that we can't find a better assassin. Yeah, Kaitok's going to be playing ice skating for a short while here, but the moment he comes online, yeah, he just hop across that, goes straight for Cowber. Nom 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 nom. Almost got a second one there. But thankfully, Jubileo was just had enough damage to bring him down.
Jubilee is still waiting for his next chance. It's going to be the Cocoon coming out, swiftly broken open. Firecrow still a dead man thanks to another super, but Kaio is on the scene as soon as the treasure appears. Called him in Lara Croft, the way he is raiding this treasure. We'll see Eternal on the right side take up some pretty serious room. Edinho is making an educated decision about whether he's going to break the wall or not. Decides now is the time to pull the trigger when the treasure spawns. It's really interesting to see the action on a timer like this scattered across the map. As soon as the treasure spawns, that is when everyone springs into action and plays their cards, and the rest is the setup. It's a really interesting game loop.
It's interesting. From the strategic perspective right now, as we've mentioned, this is one of the big flaws, which is when you got asymmetry. 7-4 now in stars. Look at Loud. It's just a huge Loud concentration on the right side of the map. They just need to win one side, but Kaio, he's not interested in that. He's interested in farming his KDA, and that is exactly what he's doing. He's going straight for Jubileo. Big stun and hypercharge out there from Christian and Jubileo, but unfortunately, they can't seem to retain full control of the map. There's just one more treasure to go, and Kaio's got plans of his own. He's gonna secure the left one instead, and now with just one more star left, there shouldn't be much Eternal can do.
Coway's doing his best to hold on to this right zone. He will be able to get that treasure. KR needs all the DPS in the world, but Edinho is so spongy right now. And here comes Kaio back to snag that final piece of treasure and get game one in the books for Loud.
Very clean from Loud. Gotta admit, it's a bit of a draft gap. I have to say that. Ali last pick, brutal. Brutal, right? I mean, I saw the Juju, wasn't really convinced. Put a hole in their draft, unfortunately, that they had to plug with a Lumi. And then when you gotta plug a hole, you tend to create another problem inside the draft. That's just kind of the way drafting theory works in Brawl Stars. Don't worry about it. You'll figure it out eventually. But here, okay, new way to play it. Okay, in dual zone maps, let's borrow some parallel plays philosophy, right? So assuming that all these treasure hunt maps behave similar to dual zone maps in hot zone, a strategy that was often employed is just hold your zone. Because in theory, if you hold your zone long enough, charge maybe one hypercharge, get a good push, maybe you secure one zone on the other side and you just tie the game for the rest of the game. But Loud are not interested in that. They dominate even 2 versus 3.
Okay, well, Firecrow emerges from the cocoon. He will be eliminated. Ooh, no dice from Jubileu on his super. Not really the greatest. The enemies are just too evasive for him. And now he even gets stunned by Edinho on the right side. This is going to be a sort of annoying Grigri to deal with. Grigri does end up assisting with the kill of a spawnable. On the right side, we'll see Edinho fall in turn also. Eternal, they're not actually really far behind. I'm looking at this left side. Also, I see Firecrow moving forward, getting that treasure collected. What Eternal is suffering from right now is that they don't have anyone that can rush forward and claim this treasure, whether they really earned it or not.
Oh, Charlie, you kind of self-cocooned there. Did get that one treasure as a result, but thankfully Loud are still very far ahead. It's the entire firepower of the whole of Eternal to bring down just Edinho, and now once again a concentrated effort there onto Kyodog. Eternal are starting to shape up, tie up this series. Just 2 more treasures to go for them to just get the lead here. Kyodog, a bad push for him could just be all it takes. Now 7-8. Edinho, though, big stun, whiffed completely there. And an irresistible attraction to follow just to clean this one up. A Fink super across the field there. And it's only 1 treasure from the win from Eternal.
Firecrow needs to make this happen. Jubileu's getting pummeled by the yo-yo. That treasure's going to spawn momentarily. Edinho is cross-eyed. He has 2 different zones to protect and can't do so. Eternal somehow, some way, off of a single return to control at mid, it all spirals into a game victory for them in a tied set 1.
And I'm all for it. Like, this is what we want to see. Don't want to see a 2-0. I think Loud kind of stepped off the gas there, right, for a moment.
Okay.
I think Kyodog's performance in game number 1 was just astounding. In game number 2, Eternal, they seem to have figured out a way to counter Assassins, right? They need to play closer together. Unfortunately, their whole position just collapsed. Edinho got the irresistible attraction on one side and Kyodog pincered them from the other. There was just no way the team could have escaped from that.
That's a cocoon at mid. Cow is going to try and bust his friend out of jail. And Kyodog is on the scene, spawn camping the cocoon. Gets a kill, and he's deep in enemy territory to be basically a nuisance and also just latent super fodder for Jubileu, who gets the stun, roots Edinho to the ground, but can he get in there in time to grab the treasure? The cocoon at the last second from Firecrow stopped himself from getting it, but he persisted nonetheless. That's 1. That's 2. I can't believe he pulled that off.
The self-cocoon there to get the heal into play, followed out by mass app auto aims and a huge, honestly, help there from Kyodog to just buy him just enough damage to clean things up. And now the asymmetry has been formed. It's just going to be Loud that just have to hold off on this right point. That's exactly what Edinho is doing. Kyodog's making so much space, and that's where you're seeing Eternal shift things up. They realize they desperately need to get onto this right side. How about even desperation hypercharge from him just to get some damage and maybe force a super, but it's not enough. Kyodog, okay, he finally goes down here, but how do you come back from 8 treasures?
I don't really think you do, is the unfortunate thing. Eternal will have to hold control for a pretty extended period. And yeah, the best efforts of Jubileu are thwarted by Edinho coming in from a jump pad. Kyodog is all up on this right side. It's going to be 1 more treasure for Firecrow. Kawe will be able to pick up yet another, but it's a 3-1 difference. As soon as you see Edinho jump in, that's got to be the N times KR. He was so confused on where to even move. Final treasure heads over to Loud, and it's a set win.
Expectedly so. This alley last pick just too dreadful for the Eternal roster to deal with, but like what I'm seeing from Eternal nonetheless. The adaptation for game number 2 for them to eke out a win there just came from the fact that they figured out a small way to play. Just play together when you're up against Assassins. Unfortunately though, as with any set of Brawl Stars, the enemy can adapt as well. And Loud found out, they said, yo, Kyodog, if we attack from 2 sides, there's no way that they don't get pulled. It's like pinching, except you're not pinching with a long-range brawler, you're pinching with Assassin.
Yeah. Well, you create pressure. I think a helpful way for some people to watch the game, just see a brawler, think about how quickly they can move into summer or like what ability they have on hand at the time, And think of it as an invisible radius around them, and that's the pressure that they create. And now it'll start to make sense why other brawlers respect them so much and give them so much of a gap. And you see that in the pinching maneuvers. Eternal found themselves forced to retreat from situations where Edinho's walking up. Same could be for Kyodog or Firecrow whenever he has a cocoon. They're being careful about their position near where that jump pad is going to land also. That's really how Loud managed to get those final couple of treasures with little to no effort, is they had Edinho hop on that jump pad. He's Frank, he's super tanky, has the most health in the game, now has buffies that makes him even stronger. So it was already over by the time that they were only at a 2-treasure deficit. We're moving to jump to conclusions. Jump pads here as well. I don't think it'll be the big man Frank jumping on them. In fact, I think Ali should be a top priority in terms of bans if we're just going to draw from what we saw in the last set.
Yeah, it looks like these water-based maps. I'm actually glad to see the comp diversity evolve, right? The fact that the meta, I mean, never thought you'd hear us say it, right? That the meta revolves around Ali, or the meta revolves around these floaty brawlers. And Ali swims in this water, doesn't float as you mentioned, but he's gonna be banned out. So no Ali for either team here. Loud to have taken that one right out the gate. Eternal though, they've banned a whole bunch of comfort picks from Loud, right? They've taken out 3 brawlers that are all control in nature, and I think that's a good assessment because Loud like this kind of style, like, you know, simple brawlers, Charlie, Ruffs, just support one another and build up towards a max comp.
Max comp would be interesting to see here. Of course, you know, can't be combined with the M's. That's one that always comes to mind whenever I consider Max. A couple of ways to respond to this shade in the next couple of picks from Loud. Hank is not it, is what we have discovered. Lumi is a viable way to do it, I think we've seen. Whenever Shade gets slowed down inside of the wall, basically dead in the water. And yeah, actually maybe could do the same thing once he's in the water. Kyodog's gonna be picking the Frank. I said that I didn't think we'd see a jump pad for the Frank, but I guess I'm just wrong. Loud knew that Frank was such an issue for them in the last set that they decided to go with it again. Thing is, Eternal have a couple of picks to respond to this with. They could just go all out on the defense. Similar to what Loud have done with this B selection, I think they've taken basically the best defensive brawler already out of the, Eternal's hands. But Eternal probably can afford to sit back on defense a lot. Shade in the past has done a ton of work.
Yeah, I think the Shade securing it allows them a few things, right? It's a pathway for them to get, you know, the steal on the present. That's always going to be something that they have to consider. And Shade's natural base move speed coupled with the super allows that to float across the water, grab it, and get out. Crow, though. Okay, so this selection is signaling that I think they really want to slow down the game. Could be going for slowing Toxin once again, or optical for the shield and go a little more aggressive, but it's up against a Frank. So is this baiting and trying to weaken the Frank by forcing Frank to go active noise cancelling? I know it's not in the greatest form anymore, but yeah, because the aimable mechanic and stuff like that, but yeah, I mean, could be a consideration. Gale though, okay. So 2 defense and 1 shade. Huh. There's so many last picks that break this comp really.
Really? No, genuinely. I wonder if maybe they decided that they wanted to go with Gale to take it away from Loud. I know you don't see that like so much, but a jump pad Frank jump into mid and then into the enemy side would be pretty irritating to deal with and can be a great way to just get constant aggression. They dealt with it already in the last one. It was very irritating. Melody, the movement. I personally think that Gale is going to be put to the test supremely. He's going to have brawlers knocking on his front doorstep constantly. Not necessarily a bad thing for Gale, who can actually chain supers quite efficiently and can slow people down if he so desires. But if Frank breaks open these walls and B sits up pretty high on the map, then he's basically toast. He doesn't stand a chance in the B matchup.
100%. Agree with everything you said over there. I mean, this is starting to once again look like a little bit of an outdraft. I don't know. I need Eternal to show me, right? Like at times like this when I want to say it's outdraft, I want to believe that it's that, like to say it bluntly, I'm just a caster.
Yeah.
I've stopped coaching years ago and I don't understand the comp. That's why I just come out and talk about the comp that I'm more familiar with. But truly though, I mean, look at Christian. He's being pitched by a Frank. He's being pitched by a Frank and a B. He dodged the irresistible attraction, but then there's no way to stop the B, and then now they're just playing so patiently. Loud, they're just on a different tier of their own.
Really, really rough for KR. He's like, well, I better use this wall while I can. And then in front of his very eyes, his lifeline is destroyed. It's just crumbled to dust. Kyodog is easily able to sweep through here, and Edinho doesn't even have to move position. He'll break open the walls for B as Loud secure their very first present, and there's probably another one on the way soon. It looks really doomed comp-wise for Eternal.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they have no control. They have no way of dealing with this B as the walls are going down. Maybe you have some counterplay. Calba's kind of desperate, honestly. That's throwing out that blustery blow there. A bit of a waste. It's the only defensive resource they have, but I guess they have to try to seize the moment. And that's what's happening here. Christian going to be taking down that B. This is a good opportunity to maybe get the steal. Adino, is he going to stop Jubileo on the left? The defense against Kyodog is good as well. Adino brings down Jubileo, but it's a successful plunder from the side of Eternal. Wow. Just all it took was... Oh, wait, maybe I spoke too soon? Okay. Radolheim's not going to connect there. They've tied it up 1-1, but lost so much tempo as a result. They need to generate that push from scratch again.
Faracrow exhausted every possibility in the playbook. Oh my goodness, hypercharge out from KR, but the 360-degree slam from Edinho shuts him down. And the spins are out, little lag walk action. Because look around and try and name a great place for Shade to sit. At least he has a super, but he's going to jump away. Not before, of course, getting hit by one of those charged up Bs from Firecrow. It's looking pretty poor right now. Edinho in on the jump pad and deleted by Jubileo. Practically a DPS test happening in the top right corner.
I'm laughing because you said that we're not going to see any Franks taking the jump pad, but gotta say, Adino there, and it just goes trampoline straight into the blender, as you said, which is Jubileo there. And yeah, that felt like the training cave, honestly. Just testing how many times you can cycle this hypercharge. But we're not going to be headed to in overtime here, and water doesn't evaporate in overtime, so Christian's still going to have a little bit of maneuverability there, but it is inevitably Firecrow that is the strongest brawler on this map right now.
I'm looking at KR. What is his move over here? Edinho just keeps on flashing the super to bait him. And while it didn't bait KR into doing anything, KR supered for it as of his own accord. Edinho is just really trying to play some mind games here and create all kinds of pressure. Will get that irresistible attraction activated on Jubileo. On the right side, Kyodog pushes forward with a hypercharge, is at risk of getting taken down. However, KR's got a big old slap, and it could be recovered by Jubileo. Didn't use his hypercharge. It looked like he had a hypercharge, but that super was enough to shrug off the push.
They just need to stall it for another 13 seconds, and I think that's what Eternal are going for. They know that they can't win this one. Remember, it's just 8 seconds that they need to stall. They just need to make this present to go in, and that's Calba's specialty. He's going to trap Eternal. Now he's going to trap Lions in one more game. Sorry, Eternal, get the defense done. Christian throws out the little sad face pin. He's like, hey, is there a version of this map that has buzzer beater?
Yeah, please.
I'm still holding the present, then like it doesn't end. Actually, that could be an idea, to be honest, because present Plunder, any mode that can tie is something that obviously is you need to have to think of tiebreaker mechanics, and that could be one way. That's it though. I mean, we're gonna reset and go into game number 1, part 2.
I think there needs to be a tiebreaker. In any capture the flag sort of mode that I can think of, the overtime continues while the flag is out of the base. Just shouting that out real quick, Brawl Stars. Hope you're listening. Actually, guess what? They are. And we want to know your thoughts and opinions on these game modes. In the chat, let us know what you think of the game modes so far, and if your mind has been changed over the course of the day. So far, this has been an interesting push-in from Kyodog. He's going to be shrugged away by Kawaii BR and Jubileo. And for the first time, we've actually seen the Eternal roster fully pushed up to the enemy side.
Oh yeah, this is the first time that we're seeing Loud be inside the base, and gotta feel for Kyodog, man. He has to play this last pick melody up into an already opened Gale, and 3 supers into the Tornado. Just didn't get to do anything there. We're in a bit of a stalemate going on here. Christian is tempting fate here with the jump pad. Half of that rattled hive actually, and he's kind of really not helping up against Jubileo, who has to deal with Adino. They're gonna get Calba to fall back here. Christian's finally gonna go on the aggressive here to slap Kyodog one time, and then not really getting much else aside from some positioning here on the right side.
This is looking pretty deadly. I think this is going to be the two-pronged approach. Edinho scouting out this position from KR. KR, what you doing? How do it dodged that first attack. That was only to set up, though. Jubileo in for the present. No, not going to happen. And I got all excited for that and everything, but ultimately it was a big old nothing burger. They went for this move when they didn't really have anything at all to work with. Edinho now forward with a hypercharge counter, only narrowly gets caught by that. Edinho can break this open once again, soaring through the air. Edinho in enemy territory. Once this whirlwind is nullified, it's going to be a pretty tough ride for Eternal to snag this one back. Hypercharges are quite useful, however. It's another one forward for KR, and they will save this present.
Wow. That's a really, really good one, but I don't think they have the time here. They need to sit on the present, kind of. Okay, we've got a hostage situation going on here. Both teams have stolen the present. Now it's time to see who can make it to the other side to force the takedown. On the side of Loud, it's Kaidog. 6 notes, 7 notes to his name. I can't count. Spoo needs to learn to count, but it doesn't matter here. Kaidog still got notes surrounding him. That means he's still got dashes. Christian, though, he's just going to sit on the present for half a second. Just anything that can lower it by a little bit. Just crow jump into it. Do something. That could be the game. Oh my god. Who's gonna get it? Who's gonna take down first? Is it gonna be Eternal that secured this present? No!
It's tied!
It's tied, ready!
I can't believe it. This whole time, all that needed to happen was for someone to get on top of the present, but they must not know the mechanic because they had ample opportunities to do that. 20 seconds left in regulation to steal a present and get it back home. We don't even have a game on the board just yet. It could be 2 ties in a row. 15 seconds to go. A jump forward for Crow isn't going to be enough. 10 seconds now. Edinho wants to soar on towards this present, but 5 seconds, it's not enough to get that to your own side. And I just can't believe it. There were so many opportunities for each team to break this tie, and we're headed to yet another one in a row.
No, Reddy, no. Reddy, don't do this to me. Wait, hold on.
I want to point out it was South America that brought us the longest set of Brawl Stars ever. I think we had 3 draws and then 2 actual wins. Or no. Yes, maybe we had 3 wins. I don't know. It went to 5 or 6 games. It was ridiculous. Welcome home, South America. Thank you for being yourselves.
Look, I was gonna say, like, I mean, honestly speaking, this felt like comp dip. But then as the game goes on, this just feels like purgatory, right? It's the same layer, same events happening over and over again. I feel like it's a Dormammu thing that's gonna happen here at this point. Cowber's the one that can hold us hostage here. Every time he pops the gadget, he's buying time. Eternal could just play pure defense, honestly. I mean, I can tell, I'm not saying that they are. I can tell that they're trying to win. There we go, see? Tornado down. Kaidok literally just ran all the way home. And he's like, you know what? I'm playing defense. Christian, you're not getting out of here. You're not getting out of here. No. Give it back to me. You're my only trophy. It's obviously the present, but yeah.
Well, that present being so close to cover might actually be a pretty good thing. If there's anywhere that Shade will have the easiest time retrieving that present, it's going to either be right at the top edge of the zone near the water, or it's going to be near a wall that he can attack through and get a kill there. Now, Jubileo has this hypercharge once more. Could go for it. It's not FaZe. Going to try and nuke Edinho. It's successful, but he's slowed down hypercharge style by Firecrow, who closes in close range to guarantee that high-powered B. Eternal is ready, of course, with the hypercharge and super for KR. Got to have that gadget ready as well. And he might just actually go for Firecrow once, of course, he's guaranteed that he's not going to be stunned by Edinho. The pressure's on from Kyodog, but he's got to be a dead man at the hands of Kawe BR, and Firecrow falls as well. This might be the opportunity for Eternal to push forward and make something meaningful happen.
Oh my god, Christian made the call there. He could have gone for the kill on the front, but instead goes onto the aggressive. Now plays the hypercharge, trying to drive back the entirety of Loud. Actually, nice gamble that he might have made. Ooh, the note there kind of clipped him there. A bit lucky there from him. Jubileo pops the hypercharge. Didn't use the super in time, though. Might have wanted to jump out there to get a little bit of value there, but opting not to. And this placement, as you mentioned, that present being on that offside, I think it's a good thing for Loud.
15 seconds to go. Loud certainly going to profit from the situation. That only hurt Eternal. It only moved the present back further. And Edinho, I think, is quite well aware, wanted to bait some of the action by getting close to that jump pad. He has a super in hand, could make a huge splash on that side. More than anything, wants to bait the super from Gale. It's a hypercharged 1-2. It's going to do more damage and push back just a little bit more. KR forward, denied by that hypercharge from Firecrow. Kyodog also pushed away. All the CC is coming out to play, and Adinho knows that he can't get stunned anymore, but he's poisoned and has to move back.
Oh my god, the defense from Eternal and the design of this map is just promoting it. Okay. Kyodog is definitely gonna be able to get on the present this time, right? This time for sure. Kalba is not gonna get away. Never mind. He got the tornado down. There's no way Adinho touches this. There's no way he stops this. Yep, get away, Adinho. You're not touching this present. This is my baby. This ain't yours. Christmas ain't coming for you. Go eat some coal. Christian, go try to get the present. Well, you can't get it. You know why? Because it's on the wrong side. And ready. We're playing a best of 7 or something. What is going on?
What is happening? It's at moments like these that you, as a tournament organizer, begin to realize that at a point you are at the mercy of the players. The players hold the power, and I feel like what we're witnessing is like a sit-in protest, a peaceful protest where, you know, they're customers in the shop. They're not buying anything. We got players in the games. They're not producing any victories. The match isn't progressing, and we're just strapped in. You know the Ludovico technique where you're just forced to watch this? I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling it. Don't put any eye drops in my eyes. I don't want to watch it anymore.
If it was 1-1 and then we tie, and then we're just, you know, eagerly waiting for the next, that's one thing. But it's 0-0, okay? At this point, guys, I'm not gonna cast the game at like full focus anymore because the games are blending together, right? There's only so many iterations of this that we can see. Yeah, look, ready. I'm gonna look away from the screen, okay? And I'm gonna just look away and just keep casting as if, like, I'm not seeing it. So let me guess, some big attack is going on from the side of Eternal. Someone trying to get a steal. He's not really succeeding because there's some guy on defense, and then it's gonna go the other way. The Shade probably died to the frag or something. Oh, is that? Oh wait, it's kind of going in the base. Let me guess, the Gale's there to stop him. Was I right?
You know what? You're like really on track at the first part. Got a little bit off the rails. It's a bit more of a sluggish match than you were anticipating. But how does he know? It's because we've been watching the same game several times in a row. We have watched 3 ties in a row. This is ridiculous. Well, please, Christian, put us out of our misery. He's got the hypercharge for it. Nope, not another tech to follow it up. Firecrow persists. Kyodog also feeling the exhaustion as he doesn't even have the energy to keep himself moving in a straight line. Reduced to a few fatigued bursts of walking. Both teams have already played a best of 3 by now. There should have been a victor, and there hasn't been a single game win. Here's Adinho, same old move as before. This time, Jubileo's too lethargic to pull off the same thing he did in game number 1. Successful defense. Adinho's pushed away, but the poison expires before he's taken down. And here's Christian going to the enemy side. Yep, the spins are out. They know they've played this interaction 3 times in 3 separate games already. 20 seconds to go till these walls break down, and Eternal stepping on the gas.
Okay, big one there from Jubileo to actually make the present steal. Kado, the last note's gonna connect to him. Adinho's got a present! Adinho's got a present!
Save us, Adinho, please! Please, Adinho!
Let us out! Let us go! Yes! Yes! That's 1 game in the books for Loud. Thank you, Adinho. And I gotta say, that was set up earlier, right? They repositioned the present. That was Kyodog, my man. But that's only game number 1. They can make this go forever, right? Wait, did it stop? Did it break your tool? I don't know how it works.
No, it should be still going, but I'm not seeing, okay, nope, he's in a game. He's in a game. For a moment, I was hoping, like, please free us. No, don't drag me back. I don't want to go. How am I going to pay off my debt? Loud. Oh, this time 1 point up, but it's game 4.
No, it's game 5.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
It's game 5 ready. All right, we got a game to cast, folks. I hope you guys are having as much fun as we are. Yeah, 4 out of 1,043 games. But this time, Eternal are on the hunt. They have had enough of this situation that they're putting us in, and they are rebuffed. I don't know where this is going anymore.
Well, hopefully it's going to the enemy side, preferably with a present that doesn't belong to the person carrying it. So far, Eternal has defended this attempt of an offense from Loud. Almost looked like Melody was unwittingly sprung into the air. She wasn't really ready to go for it. Edinho has the Hypercharge and the Super. This is going to open things up for Fire Crow to make an impact. And I do wonder a little bit why they haven't opened up this left side. It's going to be broken just slightly. We'll see KR slip past the defenses, and he has a Hypercharge as a result of all of this action, but he could still love to have a Super so he can make efficient use of his Hyper.
All right, real talk here. I'd assume that because it's the 5th game that Loud have played, that they have to have cracked the code. They have to have figured out a way for them to efficiently steal the present. And it's Kyodog at the moment managing to at least to get the present outside of the base. But with Christian and that Hypercharge, he's going to be going straight for Edinho. He gets caught by the stun, but Cowboy's there to assist. He can keep him alive. Nice Hypercharge from him. Going to be pushing back. Christian going to be jumping in. One more hit on Kyodog will do it, but Kyodog gets the better of that interaction. Survives with 100 HP, and we're back to a stalemate.
Narrowly dodged out of the crit zone for Shade and survived by 100 HP because of it. That's pretty nuts right there. It's a 20-second mark once again. This timer's going to start flashing, and we know that means it's time. I believe I can fly, says Edinho, coming in with a Hypercharge and a Super, but can't really make too much of it. Though KR has to be the last one standing. Oh my goodness. Yes. We're free! Spoon, we're free! Oh my gosh! Please! Please, KR, please!
We're free!
It's over at last! We're free from prison. We've done our time. I'm sorry for whatever I did to deserve this. Loud, thank you. Thank you, Loud.
I was gonna say, all right? I was gonna say, the math is an overwhelming push, right? They need to stop doing this thing whereby they go in one at a time and then, you know, they think that they can single-handedly break the Gale and it doesn't work out. There was the math. Ready, you said it all along, Ready. You said it all along. I don't want to see a Frank use a jump pad. That was the strat to begin with. That was the strat that broke us out of that prison. And look at these stats. Look. I'm done. I'm done, Mo.
We're like, we've got all the material we need for like, I spent 100 days in present Plunder. This is what happened. We got 21 deaths and 35 kills for Christian, who is doing most of the offense. And Cowboy BR, look at his damage, man. When it comes to damage department, though, we have to commend Fire Crow for sitting up high, sitting down low, and getting those slows onto enemies when it mattered the most. But huge shout out to you, Edinho and Kyodog, for being the ones to retrieve the presents and put us out of our misery.
Folks, before we leave this screen, I just want y'all, this is a favor from me, okay? Screenshot
it.
Stats. Screenshot it, go to social media, ask everyone how many sets of present friggin' Plunder do you think they played to get this? And ask if they think it's okay that it is theoretically possible for 2 teams to hold casters hostage for that long. Because let me tell you, imagine this, Ready, in future. If this is the current iteration of present Plunder's thing, you could theoretically draft what is called a... What is it called? I can't remember. It's called hostage strats, basically, whereby you can't win, but you just defend all the way. And it's like you're telling your opponent, you tire your opponent out, and to the point that you win because they give up, not because that your strat actually works. And in present Plunder, this was a criticism. I think some players from EMEA raised this. They said that it's too easy to defend, and the incentive to attack is so little. So I think that was the best example of that criticism. Yeah,
this is like one of the edge cases, basically. How did we only play present Plunder a handful of times, and it didn't take us that long to see South America make it last an entire year. The hostage situation is crazy, and thankfully we have emerged with only some minor bruises. We're headed into another ball mode, some sort of objective that moves around. Thankfully, though, the ties in this one are a little bit more sparse. We haven't seen them yet. I guess I'll leave it to Loud and Eternal to make it happen. It's Frank making an appearance alongside Max, Max on the opposite side, but alongside Charlie, who will serve to take a useful tool out of Loud's playbook in terms of ways that Frank can be defended and interrupted.
Yeah, bring it back down to earth here. I mean, this is still Eternal's tournament lives on the line here. It is single elim, and they are on the third set. They're snatching up Charlie, Frank. I like that. They don't want to fight Adino's Frank anymore. They're done with it. Okay, but Loud have got the counter idea coming in here. It's gonna be Charlie. Is there something that Kaido just can't play? I mean, come on, man. Oh my god, his brawler pool is so enormous. I like this where it's going already with this Charlie pickup. It's a great answer. This is Frank, and now they could wrap it up. Something else to just add to the control of things. They don't really have a proper goalkeeper as of yet.
It's true.
A lot of options they could go for.
Well, and one of the struggles with this map, okay, Amber should be able to defend anything that really runs them down. Also is one of the classic counters to Charlie, so I like the mentality there. Though, when I look at Loud's composition, I don't see anything that has range and is capable of defense. Or not like that great of defense. Because look at the geography here, okay? I see bank shots galore from mid. You're going to have a couple of brawlers defending those side lanes at basically all times. And those positions that they have to defend are pretty far back, honestly. Something long-ranged would be ideal, but they haven't gone with that at all. So they must believe a lot in their capability to shove this ball in the goal as quickly as possible.
That's the name of the game. Just shove the puck into the goal as quickly as possible. It's the slippery slap mentality. Brawler selections are being made right now. Love the Maisie selection there from Eternal, by the way. It just shows that they're not feeling the pressure. They're showing that, Ope is not the only Maisie player in the world. We can do it as well. And the goal, right? To do this in match point, potentially, especially up against two brawlers with dashes, it's not an easy Maisie game. There's no tanks to even go up against. And oh my god, wait, what? Where's Loud? Where are the players? Did they load in? Are they dead? They're already dead.
They disappeared. How did that happen? Oh goodness, and one's already put into Cocoon, and Dino's gonna have to spend some precious ammunition on that. And just like that, Kaiodog emerges as if nothing ever happened. Little burn coming down, but Kawe dashes on past it, and he's been rewarded with a super for his efforts. Kaiodog also ready with the super of his own, blasts away at Jubilee. That was kind of tricky with the positioning of the puck. Kaiodog ends up getting the goal as he received the puck at the perfect time.
That's so sad from Kaba that I really wanted to get the defense in, but just a split second too late. That said, though, Kaiodog barely got the super in time, but distraction play. Frank just, bare his soul out. Tell Shelly, come and super me, forget about the goal. And Christian seems to have either given up or disconnected or something, because it's gonna tie back up 2-2. That's so unfortunate.
Oh goodness, he's like cocooned himself or something, completely frozen on the spot. That's really unlucky.
Wait.
It's a free one for Loud. He better load back in.
Wait. I have a theory.
What's your theory?
I have a theory. That the present Plunder took so long, his phone died.
That would be nuts right there. That or like Present Plunder took all the screen time he had left on his device and he got locked out in the middle of hockey.
Oh my god. The hostage strap backfires. No, apparently Eternal is saying that Christian has extremely high ping. That's so unfortunate.
That sucks.
No, let's not end the icebreaker like this. No.
Okay, well, he has retreated, seems to be back in action. Oh no, it looks like a...
Wait.
I think that's a bot in action, unless the bot has like a crazy angle. Looks like this puck is going to be scuttling to a stop on the right side. It's ripe for Kaiodog to pick up. Bouncing off of the side of Eternal, where Kawe BR is doing his best to defend. Just looking at the movement of KR, it looks like he's back.
Yeah, he's back. He's back. Okay. Comeback time. Wait, the puck just glitched out of the field. Whoa. That shot's dangerous. Whoa. Kaiodog is so dangerous right now. That's the goal for Loud. The first one to kick off potentially the final game of this match. Ready.
Jubilee pressing forward, hypercharge active, soon to expire. of course, but is in a great position to receive it. Just needs to bait the action from Kyodog. Oh, blasted out of range. A little tricky shot there from Kawe. Tries once more. Cocoon action. It's enough for Christian to force one through, and Eternal is back in the game. They're tied up.
The walls are also smashed right open. That's a very open goal now. Calba leads the charge there. Just needs to get in with a super just to open up the map. Oh no! Firecrow was in just the perfect position to stop it, and now Kairov's got an open goal to just shank it right in. 2-1. Loud are leading it. Just one more goal could end this.
Kyodog pressing forward once more. Now sent into the cocoon. Edinho's going to help with a bunch of area control. It's a couple of enemies burned at the same time, but Christian's looking for the opening. That's the irresistible attraction. A little tricky. Intercepted by... No! Kawe couldn't get it out of his grip. Firecrow's going to be running all the way home looking for something tricky. Little dribble off the side, and Jubileo throws it away. What? All the way across. I can't believe it.
I'm at the edge of my seat. It's 2-2. We're barreling down to an overtime. Eternal, despite technical issues Christian faced, is still in it. 15 seconds left on the clock. The overtime advantage will likely be on the side of Edinho. Oh my god, that could have ended it all. But Calva had the split second decision making. He went for a big shot on that left side. Doesn't look like it's connected. Passes back over to Edinho. It's an open goal. Oh my god, the frag catches it just in time. Jubileo saves it for the side of Eternal. And now it's the last push from them.
Jubileo has that super, gonna toss it over towards Firecrow. No good. Now the slow has to get in range. That might be it. Didn't. No, it slipped past him. Firecrow gets the final goal. Loud, your victors here in the preseason Icebreaker South America. Loud.
I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Eternal, they worked so hard for that one in the overtime. Let's look a bit of that replay just to catch our breath here. But man, I think they got a bit nervous for sure there. There has to be an additional goal in there somewhere that they could have gotten. But oh my word, what a way to end the preseason invitational across all 4 regions. Folks, that has to be one of the best matches I've ever witnessed for Brawl Hockey. I mean, competitiveness aside, right? Let's just think about it for a moment, ready? That has got to be an amazing series.
That was just ridiculous. 3 sets does not do this justice. It went the distance of an entire match of Brawl Stars. I'm just going to throw that out right there. Like a 5-set series could have lasted as long as this one. This one might even be pushing the limits right there. Eternal in moments, they just look so fantastic. In fact, I would say, like most of the time, it's really unlucky that they were put at a deficit by Christian disconnecting for a brief period and sort of throwing a game away. But those final moments right there from Eternal, it was a really winnable game for them. Loud came out on top in the final moments, and they absolutely deserve this. So this has got to be the only region where the most hyped team actually did take the victory, unless you want to say SK was the most hyped team in EMEA.
Well, EMEA, they're the sweats, right? It's all competitive there. Here in South America, we sometimes bring it back to the fundamentals. And Loud, I mean, they're not the villain. They are the best team in the region for a reason. These guys have been staying around for such a long time, and you can see it in the mechanics, you can see it in the skill. Folks, it's been a pleasure, right? It's been a pleasure for this entire time, but let's recap the events of the Preseason Icebreaker South America once again. Starting from the top, Loud versus Familia Nunes. That was our first match, ended 3-1.
It was 3-1 for Loud versus Familia Nunes, who actually looked like they did have a chance over there. Then on the bottom side of the bracket, SK Kalala's SA versus Eternal. In a ridiculous reverse sweep, produced Eternal as the second contender to go to the grand finals, where they put up an incredible battle versus Loud. They ended up falling 0-3, but that is not an accurate representation of the series at all. We had the most extensive set of present plunder that has ever been seen in history, I'm pretty certain, and could actually hold that record for a very long time, depending on how frequently we see it in the years to come.
Oh yeah, I mean, that 3-0 scoreline, it irks me to say it. I mean, that's just not representative of the action that we just saw, right? I mean, that was just really crazy. One of the best matches I've ever seen. In Eternal, they put up such a good fight. And I mean, all these teams, for the rest of the year, you know, this has just been an icebreaker for them. It's just a little bit of fun for them. It's a little bit of data for us to gather and entertainment for all of you guys, right? Like, once again, this is the final call to action that we're gonna make, and we've been making this all icebreaker. If you guys have any thoughts whatsoever about these modes, especially after watching what we just saw here in South America, bring it to Twitter, bring it to wherever you want to bring it to the Discord channels, bring it to Reddit. They read it all, right? We don't have a hashtag for it, but just if it gets enough buzz on the post, I'm sure it will reach the right ears. Wonderful competition that we've had, and I'm kind of getting emotional because it's ending.
I can't believe it has already come to an end. It's been such a hectic, chaotic, and such a fun weekend that we've gotten to bring all of these shows to you. So thank you so much for watching. It has been a complete journey, the entire thing. Spoo, before we go, any thoughts you want to share?
I just feel like Spider-Man right now inside Infinity War. Ready?
Spider lag.
Ready? I don't want to go. Ready, set. I don't want to go.
When we exit your screen, we cease to exist. Please don't turn off the stream.
Mr. Ready, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Ready?
I want this to end to never end. But as with all good things, it must come to an end. Folks, I want to thank you for tuning into the preseason icebreaker this weekend across all of our regions. I want to give a thank you to our team, Rose, Ambrose, you, Spoo, Divyanch, our artist, Jade, and viewers like you. You've been watching the preseason icebreaker. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.